Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
If you jump into a race and you haven't paid the entry fee,
if you just hop in and you don't have a bib number and you just run with it illegally,
it's called being a bandit.
The Charge Bandit is the first stability offering in our Run Long segment.
we have the armor vent and the 4-foot maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
This shoe provides a light stability platform for the runner.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product, it's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Cars, jobs, a whole new level of freedom. It's what being a teen is all about. But before they fly off, you want to be sure they have the know-how to succeed, which is why there's free green teen banking service, the safe way for teens to learn how to manage money while you monitor their account. Free debit card, mobile banking, and the best way for teens to begin their financial freedom. Free green teen banking, only from Security First Bank.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
If you jump into a race and you haven't paid the entry fee,
If you just hop in and you don't have a bib number and you just run with it illegally,
it's called being a bandit.
The Charge Bandit is the first stability offering in our Run Long segment.
we have the armor vent and the 4-foot maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
This shoe provides a light stability platform for the runner.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product, it's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Cars, jobs, a whole new level of freedom. It's what being a teen is all about. But before they fly off, you want to be sure they have the know-how to succeed, which is why there's free green teen banking service, the safe way for teens to learn how to manage money while you monitor their account. Free debit card, mobile banking, and the best way for teens to begin their financial freedom. Free green teen banking, only from Security First Bank.
Morning comes and you know that you wanna stay. Close the blinds, let's pretend that the time has changed. Keep our clothes on the floor, open up champagne. Let's continue tonight, come on, celebrate. That's how we do. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thin...
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family, Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, we enjoy breakfast. You know what I mean? Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt, protein powder. It's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about what is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, Plus, an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car, but we wanted to give you even more. So
Well, it is quite the battle with the elements here in Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Looks like this game will go underway in just a few moments. We thank you so much for joining us here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats. This is Mark Benetti, the voice of the Post 22 Hardhats, alongside you in the broadcast booth, joined as always by my broadcasting partner in crime, former American Legion third baseman, formerly of Post 32 out in Belfouche, Teddy Lightbulb. As always, Teddy, great to have you with us. You know, it's funny. We've been talking these last couple of games how the sun has worked with us, how clear skies have worked with us. It seems like we have about 7 different elements going on right now, and it was a wonder at any point if we were going to get this game going, but it looks like we are.
Yeah, it was tough to see what we were going to be getting. We had clear skies, and especially driving down from Belfouche today, I got to see it all, and it started to rain, and you know, we were kind of questioning if we were going to get any baseball in today, but now it's cleared up. There's a little cloud coverage, but it looks like we're going to be able to get this game in here tonight.
Well, let's go ahead and quickly go down the starting lineups as our public address announcer to my left is currently doing. We'll start off with the visiting Spearfish Spartans. They will be batting in the top halves of this 9-inning regulation game that we are about to play. Leading off is number 5, Parker Laux. He'll be playing in the hot corner defensively at third for Spearfish. Batting second is number 2, Matt Burdett. He is out at shortstop. Batting third is number 25, Jackson Rosencrantz. He is patrolling center field. And in the cleanup spot is number 23, Donovan Bulsley. He is the starting pitcher. Batting fifth is number 14, Devin Fox. He is patrolling left field. Batting sixth is number 11, Kobe Faroki. He is catching. Batting seventh is number 10, Drew Gusso. He's playing at second base. Batting eighth is number 13, Ty Rosencrantz, patrolling right field. And rounding out the batting order at number 9 is Alec Whitted. He is playing first base. They will be going up against the starting lineup of the Post 22 Hardhats, batting in the bottom halves of these 9 innings. Interesting batting order. Leading off is number 13, Zach Solano. As always, defensively, he's patrolling center field. Batting second is number 12, Drake Messenger. He will be patrolling left field. And batting third, playing first base, is number 27, Matt Vickers, the South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, reigning in that title. Batting in the cleanup spot is number 23, Eric Petrie. He is batting at the designated hitter position. Batting fifth is number 21, Timmy Paris. He is backstopping for our starting pitcher, coming up in just a few moments. Batting sixth is number 28, Alex Weaver. He will be playing right field. Batting seventh is number 22, Cooper Bowman. He is at shortstop defensively. Batting eighth is number 10, Riley McSherry, playing second base. And rounding out the batting order in the ninth spot is number 14, Justin Kramer, defensively playing in the hot corner at third. The starting pitcher is Brandon Susi. This will be his 4th appearance, also his 4th start of the season. 7 2/3 innings of work up to this point. He has a 6.39 ERA, 9 strikeouts to 10 walks, and for Brandon Susi, Teddy, he has to come out and be the normal Brandon Susi that we know him to be. An overpowering left-hander with great movement and a killer fastball.
Yeah, and this will be the second time he's seen this Spearfish Spartans club. In the very first game, his very first start, he went 2 innings pitched, allowed 2 hits, only 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So for him to be effective, he's going to stay low in the zone and really attack these hitters with that good fastball and that good velocity and get a lot of swing and misses.
National anthem coming up now. We'll be right back with first pitch in just a few moments.
Gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City.
Teddy, the first time the Hardhats took them on was a very long time ago, and I say that because that was the very first game of the year, and this is game number 16 we're about to play.
Yeah, it was a good start to the season, a 10-2 win over the Spartans here out of Spearfish, and that was a good game. We didn't get to see Susie go very long in that game like I gave on the stat line earlier, only the 2 innings, but expect them to go a little deeper in this ball game now that we're getting towards the middle part of the season and really starting to fire on all cylinders. So it'll be good, and it'll be fun to see what the Hardhats can do against this Spartans team that they've already seen before. It's a different lineup, a little tweaks here and there, so it'll be interesting to see how the Hardhats handle this opponent coming in.
Couple of tweaks all over, really, when you think about it, because you take a look at this Hardhats lineup, and once again, things kind of shuffling around just a little bit, just given batting order. Defensive assignments, not really, but in the batting order, it is pretty interesting to see, and we will see those in the bottom halves of the innings. Right now, we have the top half of the innings to worry about. We are in the top of the first. Post 22 Hardhats and Brandon Susie take their respective defensive positions. Susie will face the top of the order, obviously, for Spearfish here in the top of the first. Number 5, Parker Laux playing at third base. Number 2, Matt Burdett playing at shortstop, and number 25, Jackson Rosencrantz playing in center field. The defensive alignment Spearfish will see is Brandon Susie on the mound with Timmy Paris, his battery mate and backstopper, behind the plate. At first is the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers. At second is Riley McSherry. At shortstop, Cooper Bowman, and in the hot corner at third for the Hardhats, as always, is Justin Kramer. Left and right in the outfield, Drake Messenger, Zach Solano, and Alex Weaver. The Hardhats are on a tear right now. They are only 7-1 at home. The one loss came to the Billings Royals, and it was the second home game they played. After that, Teddy, they have not fallen on home field.
It's been a real nice job defending the Fitz, and you have to do that. Anytime a team comes in to your home field, you have to let them know that they are definitely on the road, and this is not their home field. And the Hardhats have done a very, very good job of doing that this season here early on, and you're looking for that success to continue as we move through the middle part of the season and really start seeing some good baseball coming through here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium.
Brandon Susie, this is now his 4th start of the season. He has a 1-1 record, 9 strikeouts, to 10 walks, and a 6.39 ERA. Teddy, what are you most importantly looking for out of Susie in the start?
I'm looking for his control and his strikes. You did mention those 10 walks, and that's something that you'd like to see lower. It was early in the season that you build up quite a bit of walks in in this season. So you're looking for him to come out, get a lot of strikeouts, and get his strike percentage up from that 55% that it's at now. You want to see that hover around 70 or so to be really effective and really efficient. So look for him to come out and control all his pitches and command them well and find that strike zone without allowing these runners to get any free passes.
Well, the Hardhats, as they traditionally do to start off the top half of the first, come out and they knock their hard hats together. They are ready to rock and roll here for this Wednesday night game here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium, taking on the Spearfish Spartans. And as always, Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the Anytime Auto Sales press box here at the Fitz on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, 1340 AM, 105.7 FM. We are also broadcast live on the internet at post22live.com. Brandon Susie's first pitch to Parker Laux goes way outside for ball one. So Laux will start out with a 1-0 count. It's Parker Laux, the third baseman, followed by Matt Burdett, the shortstop, and then Jackson Rosencrantz, the center fielder.
Laux, one of 5 Spartans to play in that first game. He went 0 for 3 in that game as well.
The 1-0 catches the outside corner for strike one, and quickly Susie rebounds. Ball and a strike now is count. A couple of familiar faces in this lineup. You're absolutely right. Here's a 1-1. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. Great pitch from Susie.
Really great pitch. And, there's a couple here. 5 for each team. 5 players from each team played in that first game. So a few new faces for both sides.
1-2. Rides outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Susie trying to get that breaking ball to break in, not off the plate. So now, 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. From Susie to Laux. Bases are empty, no outs, top of the first, no score. Next pitch is swung on and popped foul. First base side out of play, but that will go into the grandstand. No, I'm sorry, that actually does go into Rapid Creek. Just went over the wall.
Maybe on the roll got over there. But Laux, he is susceptible to that strikeout. He had 2 strikeouts in that first game out of his 4 plate appearances, so you think for Susie here, the 2-2 count to really go at him with that fastball.
Here comes a 2-2 from Susie outside, and that will push the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Parker Laux 1 pitch away from an out, from a hit, from a free pass to first. So many possibilities here on that payoff pitch. Susie to the windup. Here's a 3-2. Caught him looking. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Huge for Brandon Susie to start off with a K in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats, and that'll bring up Spearfish shortstop Matt Burdett.
Yeah, this is another gentleman that is susceptible to that strikeout, and a nice job there by Susie to really battle back and get that called third strike there on Laux. And Burdett went 0 for 3 in that first game with 3 strikeouts, so he's another one that doesn't make contact a whole lot against these hard hat pitchers.
First pitch to Susie goes low and away for ball 1. From Susie to Burdett. Ball and no strikes the count. Next time we have a foul ball, remind me of something. I have a funny story to tell about a foul ball. 1-0 misses up high, 2 balls and no strikes the count. And now you just watch my luck. We're not going to get a foul ball for a while, but I promise you it's a funny Major League story with a foul ball. 2 balls, no strikes the count from Susie to Burdett. And that next pitch is swung on and hit in the air to right. Weaver is tracking underneath it, moves around just a little bit, and he makes the catch. F9 in the scorebook there. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Jackson Rosencrantz.
Very nice job here by Susie finding the strike zone. You thought against Laux, that first hitter, he might lose him and allow that free pass, but a nice job to battle back. And same with Burdett there. He got behind in the count, but came back with those strikes, and that's all you want to see, especially here early on. He struggled with walking people early, so to see him get these first 2 batters out, it's got to be a confidence boost.
First pitch is swung on and hit to third. Kramer gets the nice stop. Throw to first is in time, and that's going to do it. Defensively for the Hardhats, it is a 1-2-3 inning, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base for the Hardhats and Spearfish offensively. And at the end of a half an inning, we still have no score. To the bottom of the first we go. The Hardhats lead off with Zach Solano, Drake Messenger, and Matt Vickers. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing.
The Hardhats make their customary transition from defense to offense now. We go to the bottom of the first inning. And there is still no score between the Spearfish Spartans and your post-22 Hardhats coming to the sticks for the first time tonight. Zach Solano, Drake Messenger, and Matt Vickers will lead off the Hardhats in the bottom of the first. The defensive alignment they're going against is Donovan Balsley, the starting pitcher. His battery mate and catcher is Kobe Faroki. At first base is Alec Whitted. At second base is Drew Gusso. At the shortstop position is Matt Burdett, and in the hot corner at third, it's Parker Laux. Left to right in the outfield, Devin Fox, Jackson Rosencrantz, and Ty Rosencrantz. So leading off, Zach Solano. I don't think we have ever seen Zach lead off in a baseball game since you and I have been broadcasting for Post 22, but he leads off with a .400 batting average and now 6 home runs on the season. 7.
Yeah, we'll have to excuse the stats. We're missing that final game from last weekend, so it's a little tough to keep up. But yeah, I was actually going to make a point of that. It's funny you brought that up, that we've never seen Solano leading off, so it'll be interesting to see if Spearfish knows the mystique of Mr. Solano here in the batter's box.
First pitch to Solano is swung on and hit in the air to right field. Underneath it is Ty Rosencrantz, and Rosencrantz makes the catch. That looked like a crazy ball to track out in right field, but he snares it in his glove. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats, and that is going to bring up the ever-so-clutch Drake Messenger.
Yeah, Messenger, one of the Hardhats that did not play in that first game against Spearfish, so he's seeing the Spartans for the first time this season, and with 1 out here, he's looking to get something going, get a runner on base.
First pitch to Messenger is low and away for ball 1. He comes in, excluding the last game, of course, with a .293 batting average. And now his 1-0 is in there for strike 1. So the count evens for Messenger at a ball and a strike from Donovan Balsley, the starting pitcher for the Spearfish Spartans. Balsley right back to his windup. Here's the 1-1 to Messenger. Off speeds inside. 2 balls and a strike now the count.
Messenger, a very smart hitter, very patient hitter. That was a good pitch on that second one when it was called a strike, but he understands that the more pitches he sees, the more he'll be able to make a decision on a good pitch to hit.
Next pitch rides inside for ball 3, so now 3 balls and a strike the count from Balsley to Messenger. 1 pitch away from putting a man on for the first time in this entire ball game. 3-1, low, ball 4. So now here comes Drake Messenger with a walk. 1 man on for the Hardhats, 1 out, and that's going to bring up the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year in Matt Vickers. And Vickers comes into this at-bat as the best hitter on the Hardhats team statistically. A .488 batting average, 1 home run to his name, and a .531 on-base percentage.
And half of his hits are extra base hits. He has 10 either double, triple, or home runs, and then 10 singles as well. So he's a gentleman that finds those gaps, and he's at his best when he can pull the ball. So here, if Balsley could give him something inside, he'll make him pay.
First pitch to Vickers is swung on and hit foul territory, third base side, and it's just dropped on the play. Just dropped on the play. And so they're calling it foul. I believe that was in foul territory.
I need to stop scoring in Penn. I already had Messenger at second base there. So hopefully he could still make it to second base. That'd be nice and help me out a little bit. But, yeah, that was in foul territory. So a new life here for Vickers. You know, he doesn't want to get on base that way. He got underneath that ball and skied it up towards the third base side. So he's looking to get a little redemption here.
Next pitch is swung on and ripped into right field, and that's a base hit. Vickers shortly seeing 2 the whole way. He turns his jets. He rounds first. He is going to second. The throw is off track. So Drake Messenger advances to third. Matt Vickers is on second with a double. Two men in scoring position, one out for the Hardhats here in the bottom of the first, and here comes Eric Petrie with an opportunity to score the first runs of the entire ball game.
Well, I appreciate Vickers getting a hit there. It helped by scoring, so I didn't have to scratch anything out. So a nice job. That's when like I said, he's at his best when he can pull the ball, and he ripped that right over the head there of Alec Whitted at first base, and that was a nice job right out of the box. You saw he was thinking too, and pulled in with a double. That was huge right there. Now two men in scoring position here for Petrie, who could break this 0-0 tie here early in the game.
First pitch to Petrie is swung on and fouled. No balls and a strike. The starting count for Eric Petrie. He is at the designated hitting position this evening. And Petrie comes into this game with a .389 batting average. He's batting in the cleanup spot tonight. Balsley checks both runners. Here's the 0-1 to Petrie. That catches the outside corner for strike two. No balls, 2 strikes to count here to Petrie, with Timmy Paris patiently waiting on deck.
And Petrie here with runners in scoring position, his average dips down, so he's looking to get a base hit here, try and recover that average.
0-2 is swung on and chopped foul third base side, so he will see another pitch in an attempt to jack that average up a bit. His count will remain no balls and 2 strikes. 2 men on the base path is scoring position. On third, 90 feet away from scoring is Drake Messenger. 90 feet behind him on second, Matt Vickers. 1 out here, bottom of the first. Spearfish and the Hardhats scoreless. Here comes the 0-2 to Petrie. Swung on and hit to short. Stops made on the play by Burnett, and it goes right through his legs. And Messenger's going to score. It's an E6 for Eric Petrie, but the Hardhats take a 1-0 lead here with 1 out in the bottom of the first.
And that's what you'll get there from Eric Petrie. Every time he doesn't strike out that often, and his contact rate is at just under 73%. So, a nice job there by him. Like I said, every time you don't want to get that out at the plate. As long as you put it in place, something could happen. And a real nice job with a heads-up play there from Vickers and Messenger to go on that slow grounder there to bird it at short.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You always make the point that you have to make the defense work for it. If you make them work for it, you're absolutely right. Something could happen. First pitch comes to Timmy Paris, and that is low and in the dirt, however, to stop by Faroki behind the plate. So no ball and no strikes to starting count here for Paris. Paris has men on the corners and 1 out here in the bottom of the first. The Hardhats with a 1-0 lead. And Timmy Paris comes in with the third best batting average on the team at .412. Here's the 1-0. Next pitch is swung on and hit hard in the air to center field. Ball has some distance on it. It is high, it is far, and it is caught at the track. And everybody tries to track back. Vickers did tag up at third, though, and he will score. Petrie is safe back at first, so it's an RBI sac fly for Timmy Paris. Hardhats have a 2-0 lead with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, but what a catch that was from Jackson Rosencrantz in center field.
Yeah, that was huge. If that ball was hit anywhere else in this field, that would have been a 3-run shot there for Timmy Paris. That was right at the wall, and Rosencrantz out there in center. Well, Jackson Rosencrantz center. We got 2 Rosencrantz out there in the outfield, so Jackson in center. That was a very nice job making that catch at the wall, but Timmy Paris, that was really good contact.
Alex Weaver's first pitch is swung on and hit in the air to right. Ty Rosencrantz is underneath it, one of the 2 Rosencrantzes that, if that's the proper plurality of the name that Teddy was mentioning, makes the catch, and that will end the inning. Well, the Hardhats get 2 runs on a hit and 1 defensive error from Spearfish with a man left on the base path, and at the end of 1 full inning, the Hardhats have a 2-0 lead over the Spearfish Spartans. Back to the defensive they go to the top of the second. 4, 5, and 6. Donovan Balsley, the pitcher. Devin Fox, the left fielder. Colby Faroki, the catcher. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America.
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. is brought to you by Sound Pro, the Physical Therapy Center, courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. And we remind you all the time that this is coming to you from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box, tonight at least, here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Friday night, we'll have to say something different for the first time in a while because we're going to take the longest road trip of the season and go to Pete Lean Field as the Hardhats and Post 320 go head-to-head in a big Rapid City rivalry. So here comes Donovan Balsley to start off for Spearfish here in the top of the second. His first pitch from his pitching counterpart, Brandon Susi, misses low and away for ball one.
This is different having the windows up in our press box today. With all the rain coming in, it makes things weird.
1-0 swung on and missed, and that'll even things at a ball and a strike. You know, I could say that in the pregame show. I can't anymore. I actually took my window down, but I do see your point. It was very weird staring at it during the pregame festivities. Here's the 1-1. That misses low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike.
One of the bright spots here for the Spartans in that first game was Donovan Balsley, who went 2 for 3 in that game at the plate. So there's a reason he's batting fourth, and Susie's going to have his work cut out.
2-1, swung on and missed, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count from Susi to Balsley. 2 pitchers going head-to-head now. Balsley, the Spearfish pitcher, currently in the batter's box. Susi trying to punch him out for K number 2. 2-2, low and away on a curveball. And Balsley didn't go, so that's going to push the count full. Second payoff scenario that Susi has tonight in this start.
Susi been relying on that fastball here recently. Look for him to go to that in his payoff pitch, and that's what he got Laux on the inside part of the plate in his first strikeout.
3-2 is swung on and hit to second. Riley McSherry's there with the scoop, throw to first in time. 4-3 in the scorebook defensively. Gives us 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Devin Fox, the left fielder for Spearfish.
Nice job there, McSherry at second base, and a nice pitch there from Susi. That fastball low and away, that's going to get a ground out to second base. You hear me say it all the time. You want that double play ball, get that 2-seamer low and away, and that's the results you'll get.
First pitch to Devin Fox, the left fielder, is fouled it off into the paraphernalia of Timmy Paris behind home plate. No balls and a strike, his starting count. Devin Fox batting in the 5-hole in this batting order. Kobe Faroki, the catcher, is on deck, batting 6th.
Devin Fox, another new face in this lineup for this game. Yet to see Susi pitch in that first game as well.
The 0-1 misses low and inside. Ball and a strike now the count. Brandon Susi getting his 4th start of the season. 1-1 is his record. An ERA of 6.39. Trying to bring that down, get a second win on the season as the next pitch goes low and away for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike now the count from Susi to Fox. Susi's throwing a lot of pitches trying to nail that outside corner. See if he goes back to it. 2-1. Just missed up high, but it was outside. 3 balls and a strike. Now the count to Fox.
Yeah, and Susi looking to become only the second hard hat pitcher this season to have a multi-win season. So Vickers the only one with 4. Everyone else has 1 win. So Susi looking to join that company.
3-1 misses low and away for ball 4, and that is the first base runner of the game for Spearfish. So Devin Fox reaches on a 5-pitch walk. Man on first, 1 out, double play ball in effect to end the top of the second. That's going to bring up Kobe Faroki.
Faroki was another bright spot there for Spearfish in that first game. He went 2 for 4. He was him and Balsley were the only 2 Spartans that were able to get a multi-hit game. But this is where we're talking about that fastball low in the zone and low and away. You can get that ground ball out and really work on that double play ball.
Susi checks down to first to keep Fox on the bag. And going back to that first game, I was just looking through my score sheet. Kobe Faroki's final at-bat of the game, 4-6-3 double play. So let's see if magic can be recreated here by the Hardhats defense. First pitch from Susi. Curveball missed on the outside. Ball and no strikes the count to Faroki. On first is Devin Fox, so 5-pitch walk put him there. 1 on, 1 out, top of the second here for Spearfish. They trail 2-0. Here's the 1-0 from Susi to Faroki. That's fouled. That goes to the right of our press box and away from the buildings. Ball and a strike now the count.
And you were supposed to have a foul pitch story to tell us on that next foul ball, so let's go ahead and hear it. We missed one.
So George Springer from the Houston Astros the other night hit a foul ball that landed into a funnel cake deep fryer. They were calling it a fry ball.
Well, I don't know if any of these balls can get back into the concession stand to make it to any of the fryers, or if there's even fryers down there. So, I think we might be safe, but that's pretty funny. Could you imagine the odds for that happening?
Exactly. And I never saw a video of it. I don't know if there is a video circulating, so I don't know if it went in on a hop or if it was just a clean shot. But either way, that is very impressive. 2-1 now the count from Soucy's. He dealt one up high. And the 2-1 misses low and inside, but Paris makes the stop behind the plate. 3 balls and a strike now the count from Soucy to Faroki. And this is the part of the game here, Teddy, where you're looking to Soucy to get that control under control.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what you need. You give up that walk. How is he going to respond in this next hitter with Faroki?
3-1. Misses outside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks dealt by Soucy to the Spearfish Spartans. Devin Fox and Kobe Faroki in that order. So now Fox is on second. Faroki's on first. Still 1 out here in the top of the second. That's going to bring up Drew Gusso. And Timmy Paris, the Hardhats catcher, is going to have a word with the starter.
Yeah, and Soucy only issued 2 walks in that first game, so it's real tough to sit and look back on these 2 straight walks, because it could be the ball's getting slick, the field is definitely slick. So if that ball even touches grass, it's going to be slick. And now you need to come back and respond with starting to throw strikes here, getting to the bottom of the lineup with the 7-hitter in Drew Gusso, who went 0 for 2 that first game. You got to attack him here. He has a small strike zone, but you got to go after him.
So now Soucy checks both runners on the base path on first and second. 1 out here, top of the second. Hardhats still with a 2-0 lead. And Soucy's first pitch to Gusso misses high and away for ball 1. So Soucy trying to go back to that fastball to try and get things kick-started here and rebound. 1 ball, no strikes to count from Soucy to Gusso. He has men on first and second. 1 out here in the top of the second. 1-0. Fastball catches the outside corner for a strike, and that'll even things at 1-1. Double play ball still in effect to end the inning. And Teddy's mentioned it countless times over the last 2 years in this broadcast. 2-seamer low and away will induce a 4-6-3 double play almost every time. Let's see if Soucy can recreate that magic. Here's a 1-1. Just missed the zone. Up high, 2 balls and a strike to count.
Well, against these right-handed hitters, it will. If you go against the left-handed hitters, of course, you want to still stay away, but on the opposite part of the plate, then it'd probably be a 6-4-3 double play.
Fair point. 2 balls and a strike to count, and the pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Soucy still looking for K number 2 in this start. He got a backwards K to open up all of our entries in our scorebook, and that was against Parker Laux, the third baseman. Did it on a payoff pitch. Soucy with a pitch less in that scenario at 2-2. Checks the runners, and he pumps the 2-2. Swung on and hit foul, and that goes out of play, out of the stadium. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For the record, I don't have a second foul ball story. We're just going to have to stick with the first one that I told.
Yeah, we'll try to find another one there for Friday's game. So we'll see if we can't find something. There's got to be some cool foul ball stories out there.
Well, I have a personal foul ball story, but it's a long one, back from my college days. 2-2. Swung on and hit foul again. Count will remain 2 balls, 2 strikes. The short story, though, Whit Merrifield, who in 2010 hit the walk-off RBI single to win the South Carolina Gamecocks their first baseball national championship. 2 years prior to that, hit a line drive of a foul ball in the final Carolina-Clemson game at Sarge Fry Field, and I caught it.
Jeez, that's a nice ball. I hope you kept that one.
I did. It's signed by him, actually, in my room. 2-2, just missed breaking ball in the outside corner of the plate. Count goes full now for Gusso at 3-2. I did save that ball, and as a matter of fact, Whit Merrifield actually just got called up to the Royals. He is playing Major League Baseball for the Kansas City Royals now.
Well, me as a Twins fan, it's kind of hard for me to like anything about the Royals. So I'll be happy for you, but not necessarily for the Royals in general.
There's also a certain other Gamecock in the majors that's tearing it up right now. We'll get to him later. 3-2 is swung on and fouled again. Lather, rinse, repeat. We'll get payoff number 2 coming from Soucy. That just so happens to be Jackie Bradley Jr., who as of last night was on a 28-game hitting streak, looking to make it 29 tonight.
We might have to look up in the commercial break if he did. Or, we'd get an alert on our phones, and I haven't quite got one yet.
Payoff number 2. Outside ball 4. Unbelievable. 3 consecutive walks for Brandon Susi to the Spearfish Spartans, and here comes Ty Rosencrans, the right fielder.
Yeah, now you have to get a ground ball out. You have that narrow 2-run lead after the first inning, and now you need that ground ball out if you want to preserve that lead. You loaded the base up with 3 straight walks, and you got to give Drew Gusso credit there. He was absolutely battling there in the box, and I believe he saw 8 pitches and kept fouling them off until there was 1 out, and so that was a nice at-bat there, and Susi just did a nice job throwing strikes, but after there's so many pitches, you're going to miss the zone at least once, so you got to get this ground ball here, though.
First pitch from Susi's low and inside, but caught by Paris, and that was such a clutch catch. Ball 1 to Ty Rosencrans. He's got the bases loaded and 1 out here in the top of the second. Hardhats trying to keep it 2-0 on the scoreboard. Susi to a full windup now, 1-0. Swung on and hit into left field by a diving Justin Kramer, and for a base hit. 2 runs are going to score on the play. Ball comes into Kramer. It's a 2-run RBI single for Ty Rosencrans. We are all knotted up at 2 here in the top of the second.
And Rosencrans just turning on that pitch, ripping it in the hole between Kramer and Bowman at third and short there. So took that inside pitch and did what you needed to do to turn on it and tied this game up. You still need to get that ground ball double play here. And they knotted it up. You want to halt this momentum and get back on the sticks to try and put the momentum back in the Hardhats' favor.
That is the first hit of the ball game here for Spearfish, too. And now Alec Whitted, the 9-hole hitter and first baseman, comes up. Double play can still end the top half of the second. 1 out, 2 men on first and second. First pitch, a swung on and popped up. Timmy Paris lost it in the sky, and it looks like it's going to go out of play regardless. That was awfully close to clocking somebody, not even 20 feet from our broadcast booth. No balls and a strike to count.
Yeah, just lost track of it. If you're sitting in the stands at a baseball game, you gotta be prepared for those baseballs coming in hot. So nice that it just barely missed them there, and kind of got lucky. Did the fan.
0-1 is swung on and ripped foul. First base side now to play. No balls, 2 strikes to count in favor of Susi. You know, one of the benefits of working for ESPN radio broadcasts is the people that you work for. Steve Jacobs just so happens to be one of them, and he has chimed in and said that the line on a fry foul ball, if you will, is 8,750 to 1. I'm going to take his word for it.
Wow. Hey, see, there we go. We got our own statistician there listening to the broadcast and enhancing it, just helping us out there. So got to give a shout-out there to Steve Jacobs at the studio, giving us a nice little stat line.
Steve's also a very big baseball fan, too. A proud Texas Longhorn, so loves his Longhorns.
Well, that's one thing we can agree on. I got to give him props with that. Hook 'em horns.
No balls, 2 strikes from Susi to Whitted, and he deals. Low and inside, that's going to put a ball on the count now. 1-2 the count to Whitted.
That was a good spot to miss. You go low and inside, especially against a big hitter like Alex Whitted. Usually they get a little aggressive there with 2 strikes on them, but still a couple pitches to work with here to Susi.
Next pitch is fouled, so Whitted's going to stay alive. Ball and 2 strikes, still the count. Steve tells me that that's a completely made-up line, but somehow I have to think that that's legitimate. 87.50 to 1, I mean, that seems pretty legit. No?
Well, I think it would be higher. I really think it would be higher than that, because you got to think, a fryer maybe about 2 feet by 3 or 2 by 2 to have that baseball get in there.
Next pitch caught him looking, strike 3. So there's K number 2 for Brandon Susi, and it could not have come at a better time here in this top half of the second. He still has men on first and second, but now 2 outs. That's going to bring us back to the top of the order to Parker Laux.
And Laux was the first victim. Both strikeouts coming by virtue of window shopping. So Susi doing something right, getting a lot of movement on his pitches. Still has to find that zone, though.
First pitch is hit right back to Susi. He makes the fielding play, but he holds on to the ball as he lost his footing in this mushy infield, if you will. So that will load the bases up. They're going to rule that as an infield hit. So that's a singer to Parker Laux. Bases loaded for the second time in this inning. Here comes Matt Bird at the shortstop. 0 for 1 to this point.
And you knew it was just a matter of time before this field would come in and play a factor. You were wondering how it would affect. I thought it would be in the outfield first. to see something. But those plays are tough because a pitcher charging in on that ball has to stop, especially as a left-handed pitcher, and Susie has to stop, turn to get that throw to first, and just his feet went out and he slipped. So, it's tough when it's raining in a slippery field.
Burdett fouls off his first pitch. No balls and a strike, his starting count. Burdett flew out to right field. He was the second of 3 straight outs to start off this game defensively for the Hardhats. It was 1-2-3 in the top of the first on a backwards K, an F9, and a 5-3 putout. Susie trying to get out of this inning. Spearfish has tied it. 2 runs on 2 hits. Here comes the 0-1. Misses up high. Ball and a strike, now the count. 3 consecutive walks allowed Spearfish to get right back into this game, and it was a 2-run RBI single that tied it. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and lined over the head of McSherry and into right for a base hit. Spearfish has the lead. 1 run's going to score. Ball comes into Vickers. He holds on to it. It's a 2-out, 2-run RBI single for Matt Burdett. Spearfish now has a 4-2 advantage, still with 2 outs here in the top of the second.
And Burdett, who flew out to right, he was still late on that fastball, but able to get just enough of that pitch to put it over the head of Riley McSherry. And now that 2-run lead going to Spearfish. This is the momentum that I was talking about. You keep getting these base-loaded situations. Eventually it's going to come back to bite you. And 2 RBI hits with the bases loaded have accounted for those 4 runs. And, it's really tough to battle back from that, but you got to keep strong, get moving. You got to halt this momentum as soon as possible.
First pitch from Susie to Jackson Rosencrantz is swung on and hit in the air to right. Alex Weaver is underneath it. He calls for it, tracks it, and he makes the catch, and that will do it. Well, Spearfish batted through the entire lineup in that top half of the second, so when we come to the top of the third, they will start off that inning the exact same place they started off the top of the second, and that is with the 4-hole hitter, Donovan Balsley. In the meantime, it's 4 runs on 3 hits. No errors, and 2 men left on the base path. And at the end of an inning and a half, the Hardhats have lost their 2-0 lead. It's now 4-2 with the bottom half of the second coming up. Cooper Bowman, Riley McSherry, and Justin Kramer, 7, 8, and 9 in the order, due up for the Hardhats. We'll be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here at ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Post 22 Hardhats look to even the score back up. They had a 2-0 lead after 1 full inning, but after an inning and a half, they have watched that turn into a 2-run deficit. 4-2 now the score. Spearfish plating 4 runs on 3 hits with no Hardhat errors. It's Cooper Bowman, Riley McSherry, and Justin Kramer due up for the home side. Still up against Donovan Balsley, the starting pitcher for Spearfish. Cooper Bowman comes in to this at-bat with a .293 batting average, .354 on base. Somebody who started to relatively heat up as of the weekend against Cheyenne. First pitch is in there for strike 1.
Yeah, he had himself a good weekend. A couple multi-hit games sprinkled out through in there, so he's definitely starting to see the ball a lot better than at the beginning.
0-1 rides up high and inside. Ball and a strike now the count to Cooper Bowman. He's taking over both the position and number of former shortstop Tanner Simons. 1-1. That's in there for strike 2. So no ball and 2 strikes now the count to Cooper Bowman.
Those are some big shoes to fill here for Cooper Bowman. And before Simons came back from college, Bowman actually did play with the Hardhats, so he has seen it.
1-2 is swung on and hit off the foot of the first baseman, Wooded. The throw to first is in time. Making the stop on the play was Wooded. He recovered, but Balsley came flying off the mound and collided with Wooded. And it looks like he took the brunt of that collision.
Yeah, and I think he rolled his ankle because Whitted and Balsley both covered the bag. And you throw in Cooper Bowman there trying to get that in, trying to get on base. It's a lot of bodies there on that little bag at first. And, Balsley still kind of walking pretty gingerly over there. So it's going to be interesting to see how he can handle his pitching, because that's off his planting foot as the right-handed pitcher. You wonder if his velocity is going to go down because he can't get that plant solid off the rubber.
I do have to make a point of the defense there of Spearfish. Out at second base, Drew Gusso. Great reaction, because that ball took a carom off of Whitted's inside part of his left foot, but fortuitous bounce right to his glove.
Yeah, absolutely, Drew Gusso. But the heads-up play there at second base, you always got to be on your toes. You always got to be ready, and you always got to back everything up. So that was a very good play there by Mr. Gusso at second base. And Cooper Bowman almost had it beat out. I couldn't tell who got the ball, if it was Balsley or Whitted, but able to get called out. Now Riley McSherry trying to get something started.
First pitch to McSherry is low and outside, but catches the corner for strike one. It was Whitted that did make the catch. Big 35 over there at first, got the ball in his glove. They also let Balsley take a practice pitch, so it looks like he's okay to go. His next pitch to McSherry is swung on and hit in the air to center, and Jackson Rosencrantz makes the catch. Quickly, 2 up, 2 down offensively for the Hardhats, and that will bring up Justin Kramer batting in the 9-hole, playing at third.
And Riley McSherry, we've seen him in the batting order a little bit, and he did start in the batting order there against Spearfish, picked up a hit, unable to in that at-bat, so you got to look for him to have some success here in this game like he did in that first one. But Kramer went 0 for 4, so he's out for blood, looking for his first hit against the Spartans this season.
First pitch to Kramer is inside for ball 1. 1-0 is the count. 2 outs for the Hardhats. Not a single man's hit the base path in this inning. And the 1-0 rides way outside for ball 2, so quickly 2 balls, no strikes to count here to Kramer. Should Kramer safely get on the base path, Zach Solano is on deck, 0 for 1. 2-0, swung on and chopped to third. Stops made on the play by Lauk's throw to first is not in time. And the ball took a skip on its way to Whitted. So Justin Kramer, they're going to rule that as a hit. That's an infield single for Justin Kramer. So he's on the base path with 2 outs. Back to the top of the order we go to Zach Solano.
Yeah, Laux played it smart there at third. He didn't try to short hop it, but it was so far over to the bag that's a long throw. And against such a speedster like Kramer, you got to have an absolute cannon and get a perfect throw over to try and get him out there. And that one kind of short hop Whitted there at first, but Kramer would have had it beaten out anyway. So nice job hustling hard out of the box, even on that ground ball. And now you have that runner on base and that tying run here at the plate in Solano.
First pitch to Solano, rides up high for ball 1. 1-0 is the count to the heaviest hitter currently on this lineup. 7 home runs to his name. He hit another one over the weekend. That was on Sunday. He's got a man on, 2 outs. 1-0 is his count. That pitch goes low and away for ball 2. Check down to first, though, from Faroki to Whitted at first is not there in time. So good heads-up play there by Justin Kramer to get back. 2-0 the count to Solano.
Yeah, and now you got to be mindful that Faroki has no problem throwing it down first or third, so these runners have to be very mindful of the leads they take and what they're going to do on the base path here against Faroki. The catcher has a very good arm.
2-0 is swung on and missed, so Solano's count goes to 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The Hardhats trail Spearfish 4-2, looking to get back and tie this game. Solano's next pitch is swung on and hit to short. Burdick gets the stop. Throw to second. DeGusso is in time, and the 6-4 fielder's choice will end the inning. So the Hardhats get no runs, but 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on the base path. And at the end of 2 full innings, they trail to Spearfish 4-2. Top of the third inning coming up, and we start off the top of the third, the exact same place we started off the top of the second with 4, 5, and 6. Donovan Balsley 0 for 1. Devin Fox and Colby Faroki both walked the last time they were up. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University?
Half of the third inning now begins here at the Fitz. The Hardhats unable to plate any runs in the bottom of the second. They still trail Spearfish 4-2. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Spartans. And Donovan Balsley, the starting pitcher, leads off. And they're saying that the ball was fouled. No, they're saying that he was hit.
That's tough. That looked like a foul ball right off the inside of his foot, and if he swings, that negates the hit by pitch, at which he did swing.
Exactly right, and he went around too, and I believe the first base umpire is now coming into our home plate umpire and trying to plead his case. We could just take the Cheyenne method, and Coach Messer goes out there, argues the call, and it gets overturned, but I don't see that happening here. And it looks like they're still going to award him the base.
That makes no sense in my... okay. So there's a runner on first. Now you need a ground ball here from Devin Fox to clear these bases. I don't know. Balsley swung and went around, and that's tough. That's a real tough call.
Well, now this leadoff man on. Bunt is showed. Bunt is dropped. Coming in from third's Kramer. Throw to first in time. And that was a big defensive play by Kramer. Both he and Brandon Susi had to get that communication line settled. Kramer took it. Runner advances now. So Balsley's on second. The 5-3 sacrifice now brings up Kobe Ferroki, the catcher.
That was a real smart play. Kramer calling off Susi there. The right-handed Kramer able to just step and throw into it. If Susi would have picked that ball up, he would have had to turn around to get it to Vickers. So a real smart play there by Kramer at third base.
First pitch from Susi to Ferroki is low and away for ball one. Ferroki walked the last time he was up, came around to score, and that was the same case for Devin Fox, but he just grounded in that 5-3 sacrifice. Man in scoring position and one out here for the Spearfish Spartans in the top of the third. Susi checks the man on second. Next pitch to Ferroki is fouled, and that'll even things at a ball and a strike. Not to harp on it too long, Teddy, but thinking back to what had happened with Balsley's at-bat, is there any reason you could think that he would still be allowed to be awarded first?
The only way is the swing might have been that he was trying to get out of the way of the ball when he came forward with his bat. But I don't know. If it breaks the plane, that's tough. If it breaks the plane, he was swinging, and that should negate the hit by pitch. But the umpires made the call, and we just got to accept it. But that's the only thing I can think of is he was trying to get out of the way, and that's why the bat was considered a swing. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to ask the umpires after the game what their mindset was in that one.
Susi deals another ball low and away. 2 balls and a strike now the count to Kobe Ferroki. Man is on second for the Spearfish Spartans. There's one out here in the top of the third. Hardhats trail 4-2. Looking to keep Spearfish off the board and go right back to the sticks. Susi checks the runner. 2-1, swung on and fouled into the glove. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Susi needs another big punch out here.
Absolutely. If you can get out at the plate here, that almost negates Balsley there at second base, and you can just attack the hitter on deck in Drew Gusso.
Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and fouled. Ferroki stretching out for that one to protect, and he stays alive. Count remains 2-2. And as Teddy mentioned, Drew Gusso was on deck. He was the final in the string of 3 consecutive walks, and he did come around to score too. He was the third of 4 runs to be plated by Spearfish back in the top of the second. 2-2 still the count. Susi checks. Balsley on second, deals a 2-2, swung on and hit foul again, and that goes first base side and out of play. Give credit to Ferroki. That's 2 pitches where you can see him purposefully throw his arms out there to just protect.
Yeah, those are those borderline pitches that you have to protect when you have 2 strikes on you. Ferroki, it's a nice at-bat there for him. Now you look to Susi. He's thrown 2 pitches. Now he needs to make an even better pitch to try and punch Ferroki out.
2-2, misses high and away for ball 3. Count goes full again for Susi. This is the fourth time tonight that he has had a full count scenario. It's resulted in a strikeout, a 4-3 ground out, and a walk. He's hoping for another putout registered in this scenario. Checks the man on second. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, and it is hit in the air to center. Zach Solano makes the catch, and the throw to second goes over the head of McSherry. He touches the bag, and he gets it. It's an F8-4 double play, and the Hardhats end the inning on a clutch defensive display. No runs, hits, errors, or any many left on base for Spearfish. And at the end of 2.5, the Hardhats have kept their deficit at 4-2. They look to right the ship and get back on the scoreboard in the bottom half of the third. Due up in the bottom of the third. 2, 3, and 4, Drake Messenger, Matt Vickers, and Eric Petrie. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Graduates everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Hardhats go back to the sticks now with Drake Messenger, Matt Vickers, and Eric Petrie due up here in the bottom half of the third, with Post 22 trailing Spearfish 4-2 after 2.5 innings. Anytime Auto Sales Press Box is bringing you tonight's coverage of this game here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium on ESPN Radio Rapid City and online at post22live.com. Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth for all the festivities this season, including tonight's Wednesday night matchup between Spearfish and the Hardhats. It looks like finally the elements have cooperated with us. Knock on wood. They've cooperated with us, and it looks like we're going to be smooth sailing from here.
Well, I sure hope so. That sun poked out. You got that nice kind of pink, purplish sky going out. So
way to paint a picture.
I try to paint a picture with my words. So it's going to be nice. We're right here at sunset, but I was going to make a point. Drake might bunt here, try and get something going, try and get that first runner on base.
Well, Drake's going to lead it off. He went to show bunt, and the pitch came inside. Teddy gets clairvoyance points on that one. Ball and no strikes to count here to Messenger. Although that one was kind of teed up to you. Drake's been known to do that.
Well, I just wanted to, just take it. It was a feeling I got. I just got a feeling that he might bunt in this situation, try and get something going, and it's kind of tough that he was squaring around because it almost takes a surprise out of it now.
Next pitch to Messenger was a little more towards the inside part of the plate, and that is good for strike one. So 1-1 now the count to Messenger. He walked the first time he was up, came around to score the first of 2 Hardhats runs. His next pitch is swung on and hit into right center field, and that ball is caught on the play by Jackson Rosencrantz, sliding on his knees, and then he ended it off with a somersault. Jackson Rosencrantz has had a heck of a day out there in center field. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats, and that brings up Matt Vickers.
Yeah, that was a very good play there by Rosencrantz. He had that really good rob of Timmy Paris at the wall. Then he got Riley McSherry on that line drive, and now that sliding catch. So you got to stay away from center field here if you're this Hardhat lineup because he's covering a lot of ground and doing a lot of good things right out there.
Well, somebody who stayed away from center field was Matt Vickers. He looks at ball 1, and he brings a 1-for-1 count today with a double. And his next pitch misses low and away for ball 2. So 2-0 the count here to Matt Vickers. He hit that one just on the baseline there, first base side into right for that double. 2-0 is swung on and hit once again into right field. Ball's got some distance, and it lands fair. It is going all the way to the corner. Stops made on the play by Ty Rosencrantz. He can't get the throw in cleanly to second to Drew Gusso. So it's back-to-back doubles for Matt Vickers in as many at-bats, and that's going to bring up Eric Petrie with a man in scoring position. And 1 out here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, and Matt Vickers leads this team in doubles, and we saw it in Gillette where I believe he had 4 doubles in that game. So he comes in just swinging the ball swinging the bat absolutely awesome, and that's his 10th double of the season. So he's already into double digits for doubles here early on this season.
First pitch to Eric Petrie is up high and away for ball 1. 1-0 is the count, and it's such a shame when you bring up that stat line because it was overshadowed by the fact that Zach Solano went 4 for 6 with 4 home runs. And then you have him in the 3 hole, and then in the 4 holes, Matt Vickers goes 5 for 6 with 4 doubles and a single. Next pitch to Petrie is a slider that misses low and away. 2 balls, no strikes is count.
Yeah, it was tough, but both these guys they had monster games that game, and Vickers has continued that. That game really sparked him. He's like I said, he's just hitting more and more doubles every time it comes up. He's getting those extra base hits.
Here's a 2-0 to Petrie. Low and away, ball 3. So he is 1 pitch away from giving Timmy Paris a first and second and 1-out scenario here in the bottom of the third. Petrie represents the tying run in this game. Hardhats trailing 4-2. Hardhats were up 2-0 after 1, down 4-2 after 2. Here's a 3-0. That rides inside, and that is ball 4. So it's a 4-pitch walk to Eric Petrie. He'll take his position on first. Matt Vickers stays stationary on second. Men on first and second now for Timmy Paris, who had that RBI sac fly to center field, as we mentioned earlier, with Jackson Rosencrantz absolutely robbing him on the warning track.
And Eric Petrie, one thing that makes him so effective, he's such a great hitter with a lot of power, but he also just gets on base any which way. He reached on air his first one, a walk, his 6th walk of the season. He has a .560 on-base percentage this season, so he just finds ways to get on base no matter which way, any way you can think of.
4th best on-base plus slugging, by the way, for Eric Petrie on the team. Here comes Timmy Paris, and he looks at strike one. So no balls and a strike, his count. And again, he had that RBI sac fly to second. Fake check down from Balsley on the mound. Brings everybody back to their respective bags. Petrie on first, Vickers on second. No balls and a strike the count here to Timmy Paris, and should a double play not end this inning, Alex Weaver's on deck. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Hardhats trying to get back in this down 4-2. Next pitch to Paris is low. However, it's blocked by Colby Faroki. And the ball goes in front of him, and he throws it back to Balsley. Ball and a strike now the count here to Paris.
And if Timmy can get us an extra base hit, something here in the gap, you can see Petrie scoring from first. He has a lot of speed there at first base, and he runs the bases really well. So if Timmy Paris can get something over the head or in the alleyway, look for these runners to just be on their horse.
1-1 is low and away for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike now the count from the right-handed throwing Balsley to the right-handed hitting Paris. Weaver again on deck. He ended the bottom half of the first with a fly out to right field. 0 for 1 on this game. Matt Vickers in scoring position on second. Eric Petrie is on first. 2-1 is the count to Timmy Paris with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Balsley deals, swung on, and that is hit into right field for a base hit. Ball's going to land. Vickers gets the stop sign on third. So everybody's going to advance 90 feet. And it's a bases-loaded scenario for Alex Weaver with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And you have to think any base hit from Weaver is going to score 2 with the speed of Petrie on second.
Absolutely. You get, other than, maybe that base hit that Timmy just had, that ball leaves his bat so fast. We talked about his exit velocity there with Coach Messer off his bat, and that reached Rosencrantz out there. Ty Rosencrantz. It's going to be hard to say the first names of these two gentlemen in center and right, but Ty Rosencrantz in right, that ball reached him so fast that it kind of held Vickers up there at third base. But if Alex Weaver can get a huge base hit here, he could tie this game with a base hit.
We have a conference on the mound here with Donovan Balsley, the starting pitcher here for Spearfish, who now has a bases-loaded scenario for the first time in this game. Timmy Paris made great contact on that ball, got that single to right, but it wasn't good enough to push Matt Vickers across, So Vickers is now on third, Petrie's on second, Paris is on first, and that brings up the 0 for 1 Alex Weaver. His first pitch is chopped foul, just shy of the Hardhats dugout. No balls and a strike to count. And we know Weaver's capable of great things at the plate because his first hit as a Hardhat was a just slam of a home run to left field for a solo shot.
Yeah, he was able to turn on that pitch, and that's when he's at his best, is when he can pull the ball into left field. And he was kind of kicking himself. That was a pitch that he could easily hit and just got over top of it to foul it. So he knows if that pitch comes back in the same location, he can really drive it.
0-1 rides up high, so that's going to even things at a ball and a strike for Weaver. Weaver comes into this game with a .235 batting average. He has 4 hits and 17 at-bats, and again, one of those was that solo shot.
Well, I see your average and raise it to 500 with runners in scoring position, so he likes to bat with runners on base.
That next pitch is in there for a strike. Breaking ball buckled Weaver. A ball and 2 strikes now the count. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Hardhats could possibly tie the game. Definitely cut into the deficit with a base hit here. Here is the 1-2. And it hits him. And that's going to put Weaver on first, and that's going to knock in Matt Vickers. So the Hardhats are now down 1. 4-3's the score with 1 out, still the bases loaded, and that brings up a red-hot bat in Cooper Bowman.
Yeah, that was huge right there. A nice job by Weaver wearing that pitch. He understood if he did take it that would be a run scored. And if you're trailing, you got to get everything in. And now that go-ahead run in scoring position and Timmy Paris on second base. So Cooper Bowman with a big opportunity here to give his team the lead here in the bottom of the third.
Here comes the first pitch to Bowman. That's low and away for ball 1, and Faroki keeps it in front of him. Ball and no strikes to count here to Cooper Bowman. Bowman in the last game did have an RBI single, back-to-back RBI singles actually, in the first and second inning against Cheyenne on Sunday. Hardhats won that game 10-0. Here is the 1-0. Swung on and hit in the air to left. Ball's got some distance on it. It is high. It is far. It is gone. It is a grand slam for Cooper Bowman, and the Hardhats have a 7-4 lead with one out here in the bottom of the third. What a hit from Cooper Bowman to left.
Absolutely. He turned on that pitch, and you saw it off the bat. That was a bomb. It cleared even the signs on top of the fence. So a grand slam. That's a huge way to put up 4 runs. And we were talking before this inning, the Hardhats coming in trailing, but they rely so much on that big inning. Well, Cooper Bowman just gave them 4 runs with one swing of the bat.
5 runs plated in this inning. The Hardhats are back on top. It is a 1-out grand slam for Cooper Bowman. And now Riley McSherry, 0 for 1 to this point, comes up. He drops the bunt down third base side, and the throw's not even going to happen. Riley McSherry dropped that bunt. He turned into his 6th gear. He's safe with an infield bunt single. That's going to bring up Justin Kramer with 1 on and 1 out.
And that's one thing that makes Riley McSherry so effective. You just keep rolling here. You have the 1 out, and you just keep rolling. Kramer, who has a base hit here now, too. Then you get to the top of the lineup. They're just big, and I still want to see this race between McSherry and Fees because I think McSherry can get him because that kid is fast. He is absolutely booking. He didn't even get a throw over because he was already to first.
First pitch to Kramer is low and away for ball 1. Kramer got that infield single back in his last at-bat in the bottom of the second. Hardhats with a massive lead now, 7-4 on probably the biggest hit so far for Cooper Bowman. Grand slam to left. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on, and it's hit to second. Gusso gets to second, but he can't get the throw. It's another infield single for Justin Kramer, and what a great piece of hitting, as you like to say. He hit it to second knowing Gusso was going to cover for the steal.
Yeah, that hit and run was on. McSherry took off as soon as it was, and Kramer, a nice job. Threw his hands at the ball, took it to the right side of the field. Gusso was vacant from his area, trying to cover on that stolen base. Now both runners are safe, and if Solano can get an extra base hit here, these two gentlemen, two of the fastest on the team, you can see these guys getting in motion here once again.
For the record, the Hardhats have officially batted through the order, and now Zach Solano looks at strike 1, with men on first and second and only 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Solano 0 for 2. He flew out to right and then grounded into a fielder's choice to end the bottom half of the second. He has a man in scoring position and a man on first. 0-1 is swung on and hit foul. First base side now to play, and that will quickly bring his count to no balls and 2 strikes. Solano also capable of that big hit. Of his 7 home runs this year, 6 have been to left field. He gets that one pitch he can turn on. See you later.
And 4 of them have been multi-run home runs of his 7. So with runners on base, he's still just as good in the batter's box.
0-2 rides high and outside, and that'll put a ball on the count now. 1-2 from Donovan Balsley to Zach Solano.
Solano bats .471 with runners in scoring position, and you got to think he has 57 plate appearances that leads the team, and he's still batting .471 with runners in scoring position.
1-2 is swung on and hit in the air to right. Ty Rosencrantz watches it go over his head and all the way to the wall. Rick Sherry turns on his afterburners. He's going to score. Kramer holds up at third. It's a 1-out RBI double for Zach Solano. Hardhats now have an 8-4 lead with 1 out here at the bottom of the third.
And that was tough there. Ty Rosencrantz out and right. Misplayed that ball. Thought it was going to hang up a little more, but that ball left the bat of Solano very fast. And that kind of held Kramer there at first, wondering if Rosencrantz was going to catch it, or else that would have scored 2. But you still have 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out here for Drake Messenger, and you know a base hit and score both these runs and just explode here in the bottom of the third with 6 runs plated now. This has been an inning to watch.
6 runs on 6 hits, and one of those was a grand slam. So, yes, you talk about that big hitting there, Teddy, statistically on the board and just in the whole overall principle of it. That definitely constitutes as such here in the bottom of the third. Messenger batting in this inning for the 2nd time, and he looks at strike 1 low and away. No balls and a strike his count. He is 0 for 1 with a walk, came around to score the first run of the game for the Hardhats, first run of the game period for both teams, and he flew out to center. Balsley still on the mound, checks both runners in scoring position, and the next pitch comes up high to Messenger, and that'll even things at a ball and a strike.
And Jackson Rosencrans making that big play out there in center, robbing Messenger of that base hit. So if Messenger can do that again, that'll still score a run, because with one out, that sac fly is still in effect here.
Next pitch hits him, and it's going to load the bases for Matt Vickers. That is the second hit batter in this inning. And that will bring up, again, Vickers, who is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and 2 runs scored. And here's another thing to point out when you talk about that out that Rosencrans had on Messenger, Teddy. Everybody else since then has made it to the base path, and that includes Messenger this time around. That's the only out of the inning.
Yeah, the 9 straight hitters have seen the base path, whether it by hit or a hit by pitch. Only 2 hit batters, so that's 7 hits in this inning alone. It's been fun to watch. This is getting big, and Vickers a very dangerous hitter to have with bases loaded.
Vickers looks at ball 1 here. 1-0 is his count. And again, I reiterate because of how important this is. Vickers is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and 2 runs scored. And I believe they're calling a balk here, because the ball came out of the pitcher's hand. When Balsley tried to put the ball behind his back, as normal pitchers do, the ball went out. That is a balk, and that's going to score a run. So Vickers has 2 men in scoring position, and the Hardhats have a 9-4 lead now.
Yeah, that's a mental error that you absolutely cannot do. And we talked about if that ball hits the grass, it becomes slick, but that's still something you cannot do if you're Balsley there on the mound, because now you have 2 runners in scoring position like you did before, but you also played it a run with that balk.
So now Zach Solano moves over to third. And on second is Messenger. Vickers has a 2-0 count. Next pitch rides low and inside, and that's going to bring him to a 3-0 count. So he's 1 pitch away from loading things up for the DH, Eric Petrie. 0 for 1, reached on an error, walked the second time he was up, and came around to score in that grand slam. Here is the 3-0 to Vickers, and that rides up high for ball 4. So it's a 4-pitch walk from Balsley to Vickers. That's going to load up the bases, and I believe that the evening of Balsley may be done, because this is the second mound visit for, I believe, the same coach.
Yeah, I believe it is, and I think they're going to bring in Drew Gusso, who did have some success against his hard hat lineup in that first game. Yeah, and there you go. The ball was just handed there to Drew Gusso, who in that first game, if I can feverishly try and get back to it, Drew Gusso went 3 innings, allowed 6 hits, only 3 runs, and walked nobody, but struck out 2 batters. So he was their most effective pitcher in that first game. They probably didn't want to go to him this early because Balsley was only at 64 pitches. They thought he might still have an inning or 2 in him, but now switching to the second baseman in Drew Gusso.
Well, we'll have to see what other defensive substitutions have been made, whether or not Balsley will stay in the game. And I believe he will. He might be switching a glove out, but we'll take 30-second recess to just make sense of it all, and we'll see what exactly we can bring you when we come back. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the Guard Camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust.
Now Drew Gusso will come in to pitch for the Spearfish Spartans. He's in the midst of taking his warm-up pitches. For the record, Donovan Balsley will remain in the game, but where is yet to be seen defensively. It would not surprise me if he just moved over to second. But it turns out that he is going to move to third, so I was completely wrong in that aspect.
And then Parker Laux will be the one to go to second base, so they're just switching those 2 gentlemen for Laux to take the defensive alignment there of Gusso, who's coming in to pitch. But Balsley went his stat line for the day, went 2 1/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 9 earned runs, walked 3 batters, didn't strike out anybody, and hit 2 batters as well. So all on 64 pitches on the day. So not the start you wanted against this lineup. He had a relatively good first 2 innings, and then this 3rd inning really started to eat him up as this offense started to catch fire.
Eric Petrie's batting for the second time in this inning as well. He walked the last time he was up in the bottom half of the third and came around to score on that grand slam that was hit by Cooper Bowman. 1 out, bases loaded here for Petrie. And now Gusso comes in to pitch, and his first throw is low and away for ball 1.
I believe that's the first grand slam we've seen even last season and this season, and that was an absolute bomb too.
Yes, it was.
I can't quite get over that. That was a perfect pitch to hit, and Cooper Bowman did exactly what you need to do.
1-0 to Petrie is fouled, just ahead of it. A ball and a strike now is count. I try to think back to grand slams, and the only other time I could think we may have seen one was that route in the Regions tournament last year. Because that was just a field day for the Hardhats. They ended up winning that game by 21-something runs. Here's a 1-1. Petrie looks at ball 2 low in the zone, 2 balls and a strike. And I believe that came against Post 320, who the Hardhats will play on Friday night. But Walker Paws had a home run in that game. I think Petrie had one, Vickers, Solano. There were about 5 people that had home runs in that game.
Yeah, I think Simons had one in that game
right.
too. It'd be close. We'd have to go back and look at our book. Wow.
Gusso came with a curveball inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. I echo that sentiment too.
Yeah,
wow.
I couldn't contain myself to let you call that pitch because that was an amazing curveball. I don't know how you're supposed to hit that, but now you got to be trying to pick that spin up out of his hand.
2-2, low and away, and Furoki makes a heck of a save behind home plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count, because if that ball goes by him, another run's scoring here. So now it's a full count scenario to Petrie. If Gusso walks him, it'll be 10-4 Hardhats. If he strikes him out, it'll remain bases loaded, 2 outs. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Gusso again to that breaking ball. Petrie couldn't catch up to it. That is the first strikeout from any Spearfish pitcher in this game. 2 down, bases loaded. Here comes Timmy Paris.
Yeah, that was that curveball once again, and Petrie did a nice job, waited on it, but just swung right through it. That's a devastating pitch, so these hitters are going to have to sit back and really wait on that and really pick that spin up early if they have any chance of hitting it. That curveball is working for Gusso here early.
First pitch to Paris is low and away for ball 1. Timmy Paris is 1 for 1 with a sacrifice fly RBI and a single. Also came around to score a run. That was, again, part of Bowman's grand slam. He has a chance to hit one of his own now with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Hardhats have plated 7. They have a 9-4 lead. Next pitch is swung on and hit in the air to right. Ty Rosencrantz is underneath it, and he makes the catch, and that'll do it. Absolutely unbelievable to see what this Hardhats team did. It was 7 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and the bases left loaded. And at the end of 3 full innings, I guess you could say order has been restored here at the Fitz. The Hardhats now have a 9-4 lead over Spearfish. We'll be right back on the top half of the fourth, folks. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the visitors. You're listening to the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Ericks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Ericks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family, everything that's important to you.
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is brought to you in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. 7 runs on 6 hits, no errors defensively for Spearfish, and the bases left loaded for the Hardhats. Back in that bottom half of the third, and they now reclaim the lead at 9-4 coming into the top of the 4th inning. Gusso now the pitcher, Rosencrantz the right fielder, that's Ty that is, and Alec Whitted the first baseman due up in this game, the top half of the 4th. Gusso walked, came around to score. Ty Rosencrantz hit a 2-run RBI single and came around to score, and then Alec Whitted struck out looking. Brandon Soucy still on the mound here for the Hardhats. He had a pretty efficient first inning, which has kept his pitch count down.
Absolutely, 11 pitches in that first inning, but he also only had 8 the last inning. So he's had 2 out of the 3 that have been rough. It was that I think it was 37 pitches in that second inning that really elevated his pitch total. But still at 55, he's still in a pretty good spot if he can stay efficient.
Gusso fouls off his first pitch from Susi. No balls and a strike, his starting count. Again, Gusso walked the last time he came up and came around to score. He was the final walk in 3 consecutive that Susi issued in the top half of the second. That's where Spearfish got their 4 runs. The 0-1 is swung on and fouled again, almost in the exact same spot. And quickly, Susi's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
And Gusso, he does a nice job of that foul swing. You know, you don't swing very hard, and you just kind of put the bat there to try and foul it away. He does really good at that. So Susi with an 0-2, look for him to come with some movement on the ball to try to get him to swing through it.
0-2 is fouled again. And we will remain at no balls and 2 strikes for Drew Gusso. Ty Rosencrantz on deck with that 2-run RBI single he hit back in the top half of the second. Alec Whitted is in the hole. Backwards K in his scoring entries. Here's the 0-2 again. Swung on, and it's hit to second. McSherry's underneath it, and he makes the catch. A weekly hit pop-up to McSherry, P4 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. Here comes Ty Rosencrantz, 1 for 1.
Nice job getting that first out. You want to keep this efficient inning rolling. You have 7 runs plated in the bottom of the third. Now in the top of the fourth, you get a quick 1-2-3 inning back on the sticks, and you just crush any momentum that Spearfish gained in the top part of that second when they plated 4.
First pitch from Susi to Rosencrantz goes outside for a ball 1. Susi's trying to work that outside part of the plate. He just needs the ball to break back in. 1-0, misses up high and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, that outside part of the plate super effective, but you kind of play with fire out there. It's a hit or miss if you're going to get a call, depending how far outside you decide to play it.
He goes to the fastball, but it goes low and inside for ball 3. So quickly, 3 balls and no strikes the count from Susi to Rosencrantz. Trying to avoid putting a base runner on the diamond. 3-0, missed low for ball 4. So it's a 4-pitch walk for Brandon Susi to Ty Rosencrantz. He is on the base path with 1 out, and that brings up Alec Whitted, who struck out looking the first time he was up.
Yeah, and that's the 4th walk issued there by Susi. So still pretty high for to have a really good outing. He does have 2 strikeouts to it, but other than the top of that second inning, he has been effective, and still a ground ball out would end this if you could get Whitted out here at the plate. Or excuse me, get Whitted out with that ground ball.
I see what you did there. I like that Oscar Wilde style wordplay there.
Well, I was looking down at my book and looking at Whitted's first at bat, which was a strikeout looking, so it kind of got me jumbled in the brain.
Susi goes with a breaking ball that goes over the heart of the plate for strike. No balls and a strike to start a count here to Whitted. He has Rosencrantz on first. This could be a tongue twister of a night. I'm just going to throw it out there. 0-1 to Whitted. Breaking ball missed low and away, and that'll even things at a ball and a strike.
Well, it's still not as bad as hockey. That's the biggest thing, as being an intern with the Rush for 2 seasons, learning the names of the players, visitors, and our own guys. That was the hardest part. So baseball's a little easier for that. Not as quite of a tongue twister.
1-1 in there for strike 2, and now a ball and 2 strikes to count here to Alec Whitted. I completely agree with that. And I remember when I first made my play-by-play debut back in Charlotte, my dad jokingly called me up that day and was praying that the Norfolk Admirals, the opposition of the Checkers that night, called up every Russian in the system just to give me the fits. Next pitch, caught him on his swing. He went around and first base was occupied. Ball was dropped. That is strike 3. So there is K number 3 on the night for Brandon Susi. 2 down still with that man on first. And we go back to the top of the order to Parker Laux, who is now playing second base.
Yeah, and that's the 12th strikeout of the season there for Susi. Like you said, 3rd on the night, first by virtue of swinging. So he has a lot of movement on his pitches when he's getting them in the zone. So you got to like what he's doing and hope that he can really settle down and just continue to throw these strikes and continue to be effective.
Check down to first, not there in time. Parker Laux, 1 for 2, struck out looking in his very first at-bat to kick off the whole ball game. And then he singled the last time he was up in the top of the second. Next pitch to Laux, or first pitch rather, is low and inside for ball 1. Still that man on first, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Back to the hockey names. It's funny when you look at the Tampa Bay Lightning's roster, how many Russians they have on their roster. Nemesnikov, Kucherov, Nestorov, So many players on that team ending in ov. It's really funny. As ball two's dealt low and inside.
Yeah, the hockey names definitely take the cake. I mean, you get a lot of the Latin American, South American baseball players, and those names can be kind of hard. But it's like Gutierrez and stuff. You can kind of struggle through those a little easier than those Eastern Europeans.
Breaking ball is in there for strike one. 2-1 now, the count to Laux. I'll tell you, though, the man that wins it on Tampa's roster is Slater Cuckoo. He wins the battle. Runner goes. Next pitch, thrown. Throw to second is not in time. Awfully close. Awfully close, but Ty Rosenkrantz may have slid under the tag. He's safe on second. 3 balls and a strike. The count now to Laux.
Yeah, that was a very, very good slide there by Rosenkrantz. It was a very bang play. I'm not going to rag on the umpire too much there, but that was a good slide, and that's the only reason Rosenkrantz is still standing there at second base.
3 balls and a strike now to Laux, and the pitch is in there for strike 2. So now the count goes full for Susie. He has a chance to end the inning with another strikeout, which would be number 4 on the night, and send the Hardhats back to offense. 9-4 is the Hardhats lead. They're looking to keep it that way. Susie checks Rosenkrantz on second. Here is the payoff. Swung in on a miss. Strike 3. And that will end the top half of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on base in scoring position. And at the end of 3.5, the Hardhats have maintained their 9-4 lead, and they look to expand it even further as they go to the bottom half of the 4th. Due up for the Hardhats in the bottom of the 4th, Alex Weaver, Cooper Bowman, and Riley McSherry. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours.
Bottom half of the 4th inning now coming to us at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Post 22 Hardhats have a 9-4 lead. They blew open in the bottom half of the 3rd with 7 runs, all powered by Cooper Bowman, who is the second gentleman of 3 due up here in the bottom of the 4th. He is preceded by Alex Weaver, who is 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a run scored, and succeeded by Riley McSherry, who is 1 for 2 with a bunt single, and he came around to score as well. Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth for all the action this entire season on ESPN Radio Rapid City for Post 22 Hardhats Baseball. We're also on post22live.com. Super excited about everything that the streaming service with the sports ticket, and of course Ben sitting in between the two of us, keeping us alive and well online.
Andy also was the one to inform us about the box, so we got to give him some credit. He's enhancing the broadcast more than just the streaming aspect.
Absolutely, he is. Got to give credit where credit's due there. Alex Weaver looks at ball 1 up high, so 1-0 is the starting count. Drew Gusso, pitching in relief, is still on the mound here for Spearfish. He started off the game at second base, came in to relieve Donovan Balsley, who is now in the hot corner at third. 1-0. Rides inside, but doesn't hit the corner. 2 balls, no strikes, the count now to Weaver.
Yeah, and Drew Gusso is the cousin of one of my best friends from Belfouche, so it's kind of funny to see him pitch. And I was wondering if we were going to see him pitch again today, so I had my eye on him. That's why I thought he was getting the ball when the pitching change was coming, because I was watching him pretty close here.
2-0 misses low, so now Weaver way ahead in the count here, 3-0. He's got a couple of options here. He can take a few. He can swing away if he wants. Sky's the limit.
Yeah, if he sees that curveball, don't swing at it. 3-0 right now, and that curveball is just devastating today.
3-0, and there it is, in there for a strike. 3-1 the count. Man, your clairvoyance has just been on point today.
I don't know what it is. I woke up and ate my Wheaties this morning, so.
Oh, don't give me that. 3-1 rides up high for ball 4, and Alex Weaver walks to first. I had my Wheaties. Give me a break. Come on.
That's now the second trip there for Weaver to first base. He was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat and walked, so he's going to see that on-base percentage of .350 go up here a little bit. He's reached two out of the 3 times in this ballgame. And now Cooper Bowman with that red-hot bat still has a runner on base.
Check down to first, not there in time. I love how you went from the awesome drop the mic quote of I ate my Wheaties this morning into pristine recap of what just happened. Well played, my sir. Well played. Bowman's first pitch is in there for a strike. We have too much fun in this booth. It's almost criminal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we laugh at our jokes more than our listeners, but we still like to have fun up here. And if we can get a little laugh, that's still nice.
Yeah, exactly. Laughing's good. Stimulates blood flow, gets oxygen through the system. It's good stuff. Runner goes 0-1, misses for a ball, and that pitch is that throw to second is airmailed into center field. So Alex Weaver gets a stolen base. He is now in scoring position on second, and the count is 1-1 to Bowman.
Yeah, you weren't kidding, Airmeld. He almost played catch there with Jackson Rosencrantz out there in center field. That was skied. Weaver, if he didn't slide, you think he might have been able to get third, but a safe play sliding in, getting second, putting himself in scoring position. And now Cooper Bowman can add to his RBI count with a base hit.
Cooper Bowman had that big grand slam back in the bottom half of the third. His next pitch is swung on and a hit to the pitcher. Gussel makes the stop. Throw to first is in time. So Alex Weaver moves over to third on the play. He is 90 feet away from giving the Hardhats a 10-4 lead. One out here in the bottom of the fourth, and that is going to bring up Riley McSherry.
That was a good sack bunt right there. Now that sacrifice fly is still in effect. That's the first out of the inning, and Riley McSherry, who got on that bunt single, he's looking to get an RBI with a base hit here.
Pitch is swung on and hit to third. Stops made on the play by Balsley. Throw to first is in time, and that strands Alex Weaver at third. He did not go because the ball was hit to a crashing infield, if you will, to Balsley at third. So now 2 outs, man still on third, and that's going to bring up Justin Kramer.
Yeah, that ball hit about 2 feet to the left there of Weaver at third base. So you got to freeze and get back to the bag. You do not want to get that second out at third base. So he's still 90 feet away, and if Kramer can get a base hit here, you could still get that run across there at third.
He looks at ball 1 low and away for a 1-0 starting count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth, and I almost said the bottom of the fifth because I forgot to cross out the number at the top of the score sheet because we batted through the entire lineup in the third. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, and it is hit in the air to right. Ty Rosencrantz tracks, he's underneath it, and he makes the catch. And that will end the inning for the Hardhats. Well, no runs, no hits, no errors, but a man left on the base path, and he was stranded 90 feet away from home. At the end of 4 full innings, the Hardhats still have a 9-4 lead over the Spearfish Spartans. To the top of the 5th inning we go. And due up, Matt Burdett, Jackson Rosencrantz, and Donovan Balsley. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
14 specialties in all. We've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We now go to the top half of the 5th. Brandon Soucy still on the mound for the Hardhats, trying to keep this train rolling. The last couple of innings for Soucy and company have been relatively efficient. 3 batters faced in the top of the 3rd, only 4 in the top of the 4th, and his pitch count is staying low, so that's always good to see.
Yeah, it's still at 73 pitches. I believe this will probably be the last inning that we'll see him in work. I don't know if there's any action there in the bullpen quite yet, but if Soucy can have another efficient inning, he could give him 6 solid innings, and that's about all you can ask for out of your starter. You give 5-6 innings at this level, that's a pretty good start for one of your pitchers.
Which would add even more to your clairvoyance point total for today, because you said Soucy would go either 4 or 5. So you're just on fire. First pitch is swung on and hit to short. Bowman gets the stop. Throw to first is in time. So 1 pitch, 1 man up in Matt Burdett, 1 down for Spearfish. That brings up Jackson Rosencrantz.
Well, that'll keep his pitch count low if he can do that. I'm still holding out, holding out to see a 3-pitch inning. I've never seen that before in my life, so I'm hoping it could still happen.
I'm going to just go out here on the record. If that does happen, I may cheer as loudly as I would if we had just called the perfect game. So don't be alarmed. Sadly, we won't see that because ball 1 just got dealt to Jackson Rosencrantz. So 1-0 is the count. We might have to settle for 4 or maybe a little more than that.
Well, as long as that pitch count stays low, I can stay happy here because Susie, he's definitely settled into a groove here against these hard hat hitters.
Great two-seam fastball inside there from Susie. Evens the count at a ball and a strike to Rosencrantz, who is 0 for 2 with a 5-3 putout and a fly out to right. Susie back to it, 1-1. Two-seamer rode inside, did not clip Rosencrantz though, so 2 balls and a strike will be his count. Nobody on the base path here for Spearfish in the top of the 5th. They're down 9-4. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on, and that is hit into left center field, and that's a base hit. Messenger comes in to field it, and he does. Throws it into Bowman in his relay. And now Jackson Rosencrantz gets his first hit of the ball game. He's on first with a single, and 1 out here in the top of the 5th. That'll bring up Donovan Balsley, the pitcher now turned third baseman.
Yeah, and Balsley, who is 0 for 1 to this point with a hit by pitch, made it as far as second base, and he was part of that big F8-4 double play to end the top of the 3rd inning. So look for him to try to hit into this ground, or not try, excuse me, but look for him to hit into that ground ball and for the Hardhats to turn the double play and end this inning.
Two-seam fastball from Susie ran a little bit too far inside, so that's going to bring the count to 1-0 for Susie's former pitching counterpart in Balsley, who went 2 into third and allowed 9 runs. Check down to first, doesn't get there in time. Devin Fox is on deck. He is still no registered at bats. He walked and then he issued a sacrifice bunt. 1-0 the count to Balsley. Next pitch is swung on weakly and missed. Ball and a strike the count. Goes back to something you say just about every broadcast. If you're going to swing, swing hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on that one. He didn't even foul it off or anything. He just kind of kicked himself. If you're that split-second decision that you're going to decide to swing, swing hard. Because if you make contact, you could see it go far.
1-1. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for strike 2. Great curve from Susie. And now a ball and 2 strikes to count here to Balsley.
But I won't argue too much since Balsley plays for Spearfish. So he can swing however he wants, but usually if you're in that batter's box, you got to swing hard. This whole check swing thing, and it's getting more and more rampant in the game today.
1-2, breaking ball missed low and away, and Balsley did not fish for it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, now his count. He has a man on first to Jackson Rosencrantz. A single into left center put him on the base path. 1 out here, top of the 5th. Hardhats looking to keep this a 9-4 game for when they go back to the sticks. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and hit in a right, and that is a base hit. Coming in from right is Alex Weaver. He gets the throw to the infield relatively quickly. So everybody only advances 90 feet. Balsley on first with a single. Jackson Rosencrantz to second. 2 men on, 1 out here for Spearfish in the top of the 5th, and that will bring up Devin Fox.
And that's the second consecutive hit. That's where you start to get in trouble, is when you allow these back-to-back hits, these runners to get moving. And with 1 out, you still need that ground ball out. And Susie up to 83 pitches now. I'm almost positive this will be the last inning that we're going to be seeing him in work. And if he can put another goose egg up on the board and a 0 on the top of the 5th inning, then it'll be a real quality start for him and the Hardhats team with that 5-run lead here later in the latter part of the ball game.
First pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1 for Devin Fox. No balls and a strike is starting count. Again, he technically doesn't have a registered at bat. He walked in his first time up, came around to score, and then he laid down a sacrifice bunt. Saying issued as if he's giving somebody a library book. No balls and a strike to count here to Devin Fox. Check down to second doesn't happen. Susie just scares the base runners. And so we go right back to it, still waiting on pitch number 2 to Fox.
Well, that big mustache there of Susie would scare any base runner. That's looking good. He cut his flow off. He cut his hair short again, but he's still rocking that intimidating stash. These hitters shaking a little bit at the knees in the batter's box.
0-1 is swung on and fouled. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Remind me after the broadcast to pull you aside and remind you of everything that was just wrong with that sentence.
All right, well, maybe we can get it in the break here in between.
Oh my goodness. However, no, I'm just being a clown here, but no, you're right. It would scare most people. rocking the Muzzy all year long. Here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball just missed low and away. Ball and 2 strikes now, the count from Susie to Devin Fox.
That was a really good pitch there. You have that breaking ball in that outside part of the plate. Try to bring it close, and that pitch just missed by a hair. And if you're up 0-2, that's a pitch most hitters are going to chase and go after, but Fox just laid off it. But still, a very, very good pitch there from Susie.
1-2, swung on and hit in the air to left, and it is just foul. And the count will remain a ball and 2 strikes from Susie to Fox.
Kind of dodged a bullet there with that one going foul. That was a long fly ball into left field to go foul, and that would have scored a run there from second. And you haven't given up a run since the top of the second inning. You put up 2 consecutive zeros in 3 out of the 4 innings so far. You want to continue that trend and really play some efficient baseball so you can come back and take a bunch of positives from this game, excluding the top of that second.
1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. That is K number 5 on the day for Brandon Susie. And that's going to bring up Colby Faroki, who is 0 for 1, grounded into an F8-4 double play, walked and came around to score.
And now with 2 outs, he can't have that double play. So you can almost forget about the runners on base and just go after Faroki here to try and get out of this inning without any damage done.
First pitch, 2-seam fastball inside is swung on and missed. No balls and a strike, the count to Faroki. 5 strikeouts now for Susie, twice to Parker Laux, twice to Alec Whitted, once to Devin Fox. Runners are checked. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball just missed outside. Now a ball and a strike is the count to Colby Faroki. Faroki has men on first and second. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. The Spearfish Club trails the Hardhats 9-4. Spearfish did have a 4-2 lead at one point, but a 7-run bottom of the 3rd erased that. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and hit in the air to right. Weaver's tracking it. He is underneath it, and he makes the catch on the run, and that will do it. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on the base path. And at the end of 4.5, we have officially played half of this regulation game. We're going 9 innings tonight. The Hardhats still have a 9-4 lead. Due up for the home side in the bottom half of the 5th is the top of the order. Zach Solano, Drake Messenger, and Matt Vickers. We'll be right back in just a few moments, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Hardhats Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast.
We've officially played half of this ball game. 4.5 innings in the books. We're going out of the bottom half of the 5th. The Hardhats looking to continue expanding upon this lead that they've built of 5 runs. They played at 7 in the bottom half of the 3rd to go from trailing 4-2 to leading 9-4. And now we go to the top of the order with Zach Solano, an RBI double to his credit. Drake Messenger 0 for 1 with a walk, a run scored, and a hit by pitch. And Matt Vickers 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and a walk. I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I'm pretty sure that at this current point, your MVP race has to be down to Cooper Bowman with a grand slam and Matt Vickers with his extra base hit rally.
Oh, it's close. I'm keeping that one tight tonight, so it's going to be a surprise for the end of the game here as we go on. But it is close. Those two are definitely in the running. I'll give you that much.
3 things we like in this broadcast booth: baseball, jokes, and surprises. So I'm looking forward to it. Solano looks at strike 1 inside, and then he looks at ball 1 to quickly even his count at a ball and a strike. Zach Solano is 1 for 3 with a flyout, grounding into a 6-4 fielder's choice, and then he hit an RBI double. Made it all the way to third in the bottom of the third. Was not plated. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Slider went low and away. Ball and 2 strikes, now the count.
Look at you with that pitch recognition. We're getting better. You can tell it's our second season. That was good. That was a proud moment for me. But that was a good slider. Drew Gusso has a lot of movement on his pitches, and it's fooling these hitters if he can throw it low in the zone.
1-2 went low and away, and that'll even things at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, to be fair to you, I did learn from you. I'd pick up on what you'd say because I'd be 50-50 on pitches thrown. You can recognize certain things, and then 9 times out of 10 you'd make my gut right. 2-2 is swung on and chopped to the shallow parts of the infield, charging from third. Balsley throw to first, not in time. What a great, well-hit infield single by Zach Solano. He is on first to lead off the bottom half of the 5th, and that's going to bring up Drake Messenger with a man on and nobody out.
What a play there from Zach Solano, really hustling it out. And I believe that was our first leadoff man on by a virtue of a hit. That third inning has given me fits here in my scorebook, but
you are correct.
Yeah, by virtue of a hit. Yes. There was a walk last inning to Weaver to get on, but nice job there by Solano, and that's what the leadoff hitter is supposed to do, is get on base. We preach that every time the leadoff comes up. Get on base, and Solano, nice job doing that.
Solano's going, pitches low and away, throw to second is in time. They caught him stealing. Looked like that throw was going to go off track a little bit, but it did bounce right back to Laux there at second. He gets the out. So Zach Solano caught stealing, and that clears the bases up for Messenger.
Yeah, right as I finished that leadoff man is so important to be on base. Right as I finished that sentence, bases are cleared, but yeah, that throw was actually a really good throw there by Faroki. That low hop is one of the better throws to have down to second, and it was just tough that Solano couldn't quite beat it out. It was a close play there.
2-0 now the count to Messenger as that ball goes high and away. Messenger 0 for 1. He's been on the base path twice. Next pitch is swung on and hit to third. Balsley gets the stop throw to first in time. 5-3 in the scorebook, and quickly the Hardhats have nobody on the base path and 2 down. That will bring up the flaming hot Matt Vickers with 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, a walk. He's been on base all 3 times in this game, and I think now over half of his hits are extra base hits.
Yeah, it's insane. Quick math, 12 out of his 22 hits are extra base hits. He came in with an even 10-10 split down the middle, and now he's just adding to that. This young man's having a very, very good start to this season.
He looks at ball 1 that skips away from Faroki behind the plate. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Gusso back to the stretch, and the next pitch is outside for ball 2.
And that goes into his .531 on base percentage and a .488 average. So, obviously he's doing something right, and I believe he's leading the team, second on the team in OPS, on base plus slugging percentage, right behind Zach Solano.
Next pitch comes low and inside for ball 3. So 3-0 the count to. They called that a strike on the inside. That looked a little too far inside. Didn't see the signal from the umpire. 2 balls and a strike now the count to Vickers. Gusso to the windup, and the next pitch misses low. And now there's 3 balls. 3-1 the count. And you heard Coach Messer talk about it a while back, that on-base plus slugging is so important for this team's success.
Yeah, because that means they're not striking out, plus they're getting on base, and that's what you look at. So if it's good, that's what you like to see.
3-1 is swung on and hit to first. Whitted gets the stop. Throw to the oncoming Drew Gusso is barely in time. So it is a 3-1 put out that ends the inning. Well, no runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left on the base path here for the Hardhats. And at the end of 5 full innings, their lead of 9-4 remains intact. To the top half of the 6th we go. 7, 8, 9 due up. Drew Gusso, the pitcher. Tyke Rosenkrantz, the right fielder. Alec Whitted, the first baseman. We'll be right back in just a few moments, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's Breakfast Burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you...
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, broadcast in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box, is brought to you by Sound Pro, the Physical Therapy Center. Courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. Well, the evening of Brandon Soucy has come to an end after 5 innings of work. Now Holden Jackson takes over and comes into this game. His 5th appearance of the season, 4th by relief. He does have a 1-0 record, a 4.2 ERA, 5 strikeouts to 6 walks, and 1 hit batter.
And a stat line here for Brandon Soucy. After 5 innings of work, he allowed 5 hits, 4 earned runs, and 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit batter, all on 91 pitches here for the Hardhats. As he exits the game with the Hardhats having that big 9-4 lead, and he was a part of that. Other than the top of the 2nd inning, he was very, very good for this Hardhat team.
So now Holden Jackson comes in for our next stretch of this regulation contest of 9 innings. He will face 7, 8, and 9, Drew Gusso, Ty Rosencrantz, and Alec Whitted. Gusso comes in 0 for 1 with a pop out, a walk, and a run scored. Jackson's first pitch swung on and fouled. No balls and a strike, a starting count. Jackson has a very fast windup. He gets that signal, and before you know it, ball's out of his hand.
Yeah, he almost does that quick pitch that Riley McSherry's been working on. McSherry has that slower one, and then he'll speed it up. But Holden Jackson pretty much is in that quick pitch the entire time.
Next pitch is swung on and hit over the head of Matt Vickers, and it bloops into right field for a base hit. So Gusso leads off with a single. He will hold his positioning at first. So 2 pitches. The leadoff man for Spearfish is on the base path, and that will bring up Ty Rosencrantz, who is 1 for 1 with a 2-run RBI single, a run scored, a walk, and a stolen base. That's a heck of a mouthful.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good stat line there for Ty Rosencrantz, and he's made a lot of plays out there in right, too. A lot of hitters going there when he's in that defensive spot, so he's been busy, but now first time seeing Holden Jackson. Holden Jackson's looking to get that good breaking ball over the plate in order to get that ground ball out and clear these bases up.
Fastball goes high and away from Jackson on his first pitch to Rosencrantz for ball 1. Rosencrantz hit that 2-run RBI single, 1 of 2. In the top half of the second. They gave Spearfish 2 of their 4 runs. And now ball 2 comes from Jackson Rosencrantz.
And the opposing lineup's only batting .265 against Holden Jackson in his 8.1 innings pitched so far this season. So he's done a nice job in keeping those hits sporadic against the opposing lineup.
Rosencrantz hits a screamer of a line drive foul into the grandstand, first base side. So now Jackson, figuratively speaking, on the board with that strike. 2-1 now the count. Alec Whitted is on deck, barring no substitutions, and it looks like that is him in the on-deck circle. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. 2-1, swung on and fouled again. Almost the exact same pitch, exact same spot. And now Jackson's battled from down 2-0 to an even 2-2 count.
And that's what you like about Holden Jackson. About 60% of his pitches are strikes. He has a good strike percentage, and that's what you like to see. You want to see these pitchers that can throw strikes, not issue those free passes, and let his defense work behind him.
2-2 from Jackson's, low and away for ball 3. Rosencrantz didn't fish. That was way outside. So this is the first full count scenario Holden Jackson has to face. We also saw Holden Jackson play in the field and not just at the pitching position. He played third base on Sunday against Cheyenne. Played very well. Here comes the payoff. Low, ball 4. So the first 2 batters that Jackson sees are on the base path by virtue of a single and a walk, respectively. Nobody out, 2 men on. Here comes Alec Whitted, the first baseman.
Real tough there. You get 2. We talk about how important that leadoff batter is to get out. If you're on defense, you don't want to allow them on base. And now those first 2, it's even a worse scenario. So you think this sack bunt, Whitted already 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. You think he's going to sack bunt, try and get these runners in scoring position.
Whitted shows bunt. First pitch goes low and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count from Jackson to Whitted. Struck out looking to Susi, then struck out swinging to Susi. That was in the top of the second, top of the fourth, respectively.
And this is going to be interesting. Vickers is crashing from first, so they're going to try and get this lead runner in Gusso at third base. So watch Vickers crash in as Kramer's going to try and get at third.
Bunt is dropped to Vickers. Can he get the throw to third? No, he gets the easy out at first there. So that is a 3-4 fielder's choice to first. Everybody advances to scoring position. Men on second and third, now one out here in the top of the sixth. We go back to the top of the order, and here comes Parker Laux. But great recognition of that, Teddy, and had Matt been a little quicker on that charge, that ball took a chop of grass there. He'd been a little quicker, he could have gotten it.
Yeah, I thought he had a chance to get Gusso there at third, but it is smart. You get that safe out. You do have a 5-run lead at the same point, so you'll definitely go with the sure out here. So nice play, and look for these corners to try and hold these runners and not allow a run.
First pitch to Laux is chopped to third. Runners hold. Kramer throw to first in time. And everybody will stay put. Men on second and third still. One pitch is all it took, and it's a 5-3 put out in the book. 2 down now for Spearfish, still 2 men in scoring position. And Matt Burdett, the shortstop, comes up 1 for 3 with a 2-run RBI single himself.
Yeah, he was one of the hitters in that top of the second inning that made the Hardhats pay with a big bases loaded 2 RBI hit. So he's definitely done some damage, and he could do it here too. So Holden Jackson really needs to just attack him and try and get him to ground in something soft to the right or middle infield.
First pitch to Burdett is up high for ball 1. Holden Jackson now in relief for Brandon Susi, who went 5 innings. 4 runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Next pitch is swung on and popped up. That goes to shallow right. Weaver's tracking underneath it. Solano comes from center, calls him off, and makes the catch. So the Hardhats, despite letting the first 2 runners of the inning on the base path, do not give up any runs. They only do so on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on the base path, both of which were in scoring position. 5.5 in our scorebooks right now, and the Hardhats still have a 9-4 lead on Spearfish. To the bottom half of the 6th we go. Eric Peach for the DH will lead off, followed by Timmy Paris and Alex Weaver. You're listening to the official radio hall of Post 22 Hardhats baseball, folks. We'll be right back here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and live on the internet at post22live.com.
You find Black Hills State University graduates everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Stadium, Mark Padetti and Teddy Leipold broadcasting to you from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, 1340 AM, 105.7 FM. Eric Petrie leads off the bottom half of the 6th, followed by Timmy Paris and Alex Weaver. Petrie 0 for 2, reached on an error, walked, came around to score, and struck out the last time he was up. And Petrie, unfortunate strikeout scenario for him, he had the bases loaded. But that was the first time we saw the absolute sick, nasty curveball of Drew Gusso, the relief pitcher for Spearfish.
Yeah, that curveball has been working for Gusso. He has kind of shied away from it since the beginning, or since his relief start. Or his relief appearance started. That's what I was trying to get out at that point. But he's kind of shied away from it, getting to that fastball, and these hitters have kind of adjusted to it and started hitting it. So look for him to go back to that curveball. And hopefully Petrie now is second time seeing Drew Gusso on the mound. Hopefully he can adjust to it and get a hit off that curveball.
So here comes the first pitch to Petrie from Gusso, and it is chopped foul. No balls and a strike to count.
Nice hands over there at third. Gotta like that one, especially after the incident we had with Coach Messer the other day. So them third base coaches got to be alert over there.
That's Jason Hers that's coaching third base right now. Here's the 0-1. There's the breaking ball, but it just misses, and the count will even at a ball and a strike. That's that curveball we were talking about.
Yeah, that curveball has just been absolutely deadly.
1 ball, 1 strike to count from Gusso to Petrie. And the next pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. I could be wrong on this pitch selection here, but that looked like a changeup.
I didn't get to see that. I was looking down at my book right now. So
see, the one time I could have dropped some serious knowledge.
Yep, exactly. I just couldn't quite look up fast enough.
1-2 is swung on and hit to short. Stops made by Burdett. Scoop, toss to first is in time. 6-3 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats offensively, and that'll bring up Timmy Paris, who had an RBI sac fly to center. Single came around to score in that grand slam by Cooper Bowman, and then most recently flew out to Ty Rosencrans and right.
And that RBI sac fly to center was about a foot and a half short of being over the wall. And that was dead center field. I don't think you could, if you took a string and went from home plate to straight center field, that's probably where that ball was, because it was the deepest part of the ballpark that he hit it. So he's still seeing the ball well, making really good contact with it early on.
He looks at strike one low and away for an 0-1 starting count. And to echo your sentiment further, had that gone an extra couple of feet, would have been over the wall, would have been a 3-run jack for Timmy Paris. Could have a completely different complexion to this game. However, that would have robbed Cooper Bowman of what was an unbelievable grand slam. Next pitch to Paris is ripped foul first base side, and now he is quickly behind. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and then Timmy Paris, he's still swinging the ball well. He's really good at swinging with 2 strikes on him. He doesn't get nervous. He's still up there and still calm. So he's one of these hitters you're not going to get him to chase a whole lot out of the zone. So look for him still looking to drive some and looking to get a pitch here from Gus. So got to be careful about that curveball, though.
0-2. Swung on and hit in right field. Rosencrans can't make the stop. It lands in front of him for a base hit. He immediately gets the relay into Laux at second, so Timmy Paris gets himself another single. He is now 2 for 3 in this ballgame, and that's going to bring up Alex Weaver with a man on first and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th. Weaver comes into this at-bat 0 for 1. Flew out to right in his first at-bat, was hit by a pitch, came around to score in the grand slam, and then walked and was stranded at third. And he looks at a first pitch ball low and away. 1-0 the count.
Timmy Paris, one of the things that I've noticed from last season to this season, he's gotten so much better at going opposite field with those pitches. That outside pitch from Gusso with 0-2, he still took it to right field, and that was a huge adjustment to roll his hands over and take it right over the head there of Whitted. You're a very dangerous hitter if you can go both sides.
Absolutely right. Weaver looks at ball 2 low. 2-0 now the count here to Weaver, 0 for 1. He's made the base path the last 2 times by virtue of a hit by pitch and a walk. Next pitch is swung on and ripped into center field. That's a base hit. Everybody's going to advance 90 feet. Timmy Paris on second. Alex Weaver gets his first hit of the ball game. Back-to-back singles now for the Hardhats with 1 out, and that will bring up Cooper Bowman, who is 1 for 2 with that monster of a grand slam he hit back in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, and we were talking in the top part of this inning, when you start stringing together hits, this is where things can get dangerous. Now back-to-back singles here with 1 out, and the explosive bat of Cooper Bowman. This could be a situation here for Gusso on the mound.
First pitch to Bowman is swung on and hit to short. Stops made by Burdett. It's a 6-4 fielder's choice. They're only going to get the out at second, and Bowman is on first. So the 6-4 puts him on the base path, advances Timmy Paris to third. Weaver's thrown out at second. It's now men on the corners and 2 outs for the Hardhats, and that will bring up a pinch hitter in Carter Deming coming in for Riley McSherry.
Carter Deming wearing number 15 coming in. I believe this is second at bat. He did come in for Riley McSherry over the weekend once as well in Sunday's ball game. So he's still looking for his first hit, and it could be a big one to drive in a run.
First pitch is swung on and hit to center field. Jackson Rosencrans underneath it makes the catch, and that will do it. 1 pitch was all it took to end the at-bat of Deming there, and that is the conclusion of the 6th inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on the base path for the Hardhats. And at the end of 6 full innings, the lead remains unchanged. 9-4 is the score. We'll be right back, folks, with the top half of the 7th inning here from Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Holden Jackson back to the mound. He will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Spearfish batting order. You're listening to the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau.
At second base defensively, Sam Haig is backstopping in place of Timmy Paris.
And we still got Holden Jackson on the mound. Well, I appreciate that I got a little bit of credit on the air. That makes me feel a little better. But I'll only get on my high horse like that when we're off air. We can still be friends. And I think my mic picked that up too with Cam Fees in left or right. Which one did?
Left.
In left. All right. So he took it for Messenger.
First pitch is swung on, and that is hit foul just barely on the line by the leadoff hitter Jackson Rosenkrantz. He starts off 0-1, and Cam would have had a heck of a defensive play to make there on his first pitch, just even being out in left field. So Cam Feast out in left. Sam Haig is now backstopping. Carter Deming is now playing at second base.
Got to feverishly right everywhere to try and catch up with these while we're still trying to look at the pitches.
Next pitch from Jackson is in there for strike 2 to Rosenkrantz. No balls, 2 strikes to count. It's Jackson Rosenkrantz, Donovan Baisley, and Devin Fox due up here in the top of the 7th. Jackson looking for the K. 0-2, swung on and chopped foul. And the count will remain no balls and 2 strikes.
Those third base coaches are just not getting any help. That one went right off the third base little platform there, or whatever you'd like to call it, the box that has a little body painted in there, as Coach Messer just took one off from Zach Solano in Sunday's ball game. So that's kind of a deadly zone right there. I haven't seen the coaches stand in it. They usually stand around on the grass. They're still worried about it.
And to add to that caricature in the box, the right hand of said character in that box is red, because that's the hand that Coach Messer got hit. Ball and 2 strikes now from Jackson, and he deals, swung on, and hit to short. Bowman, nice dig. Throw to first is not there. It just skips off the glove of Matt Vickers. Luckily, Sam Haig came around to get that ball next to first base. Almost caught Rosenkrantz, cheating a little bit off of first. However, it is going to be an error, E6 on the throw. Leadoff man on the base path for Spearfish with nobody out, bringing up Donovan Baisley.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Tough one to swallow there. Normally you'll see Vickers dig those, but it was a short hop off there, and you can't really blame Cooper Bowman a whole lot because he was falling off his back foot, and it was a strong throw, but just got to get it up there and get it towards Vickers at first, and try not to short hop it, because those are very tough to dig out of the dirt.
Nonetheless, a great defensive play by Bowman, but like you said, the throw was a little more on point. Good things could have come for the Hardhats there. Donovan Baisley is now up. Another check down to first. Lightning quick by Jackson, doesn't get there in time. Baisley in this game is 1 for 2. Grounded out, hit by a pitch, singled. Man on first, nobody out here in the top of the 7th. His first pitch from Jackson is in there for a strike. It buckled him. No balls and a strike to count.
Yeah, and that's that movement that Holden Jackson gets on all of his pitches. Even his fastball, even if he throws a 4-seam, it doesn't have as much as his 2-seam with movement, but it's still dancing around in the zone, which makes him so hard to hit.
0-1 rides up high and inside, buzzes the tower, if you will, and that will even things at a ball and a strike. On deck is Devin Fox. He's 0 for 1 with a sac bunt, a walk, a run scored, and a strikeout. He was the final punch out for Brandon Soucy. 1-1 is swung on and hit foul, and that goes out of play into Rapid Creek. Ball and 2 strikes now the count to Baisley.
And that was a nice breaking pitch. I believe that was the curveball there from Holden Jackson. And now with 2 strikes, look, he's going to try and go back to that fastball, I believe. He has such a good curveball, but to punch out Baisley here.
1-2 goes low and away, and Baisley didn't fish. Great recovery by Haig behind the plate, made a nice catch. Counts even at deuces now, 2-2 to Baisley.
Yeah, and he tried to go that 2-seam on the outside part of the plate to break it back over the plate, but a little too far outside. I think he held on to the pitch a little too long, and that could cause some problems, throw off your timing. But he was trying to get that ground ball out to try and clear the bases.
2-2 is chopped foul, almost stopped in the dugout by Pete Barrows, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was Pete. He needs to be careful throwing his hand up. He needs to just ask Coach Messer how it is trying to get them foul balls. So, but a nice job. He got it blocked down and saved everyone else at the further down the bench.
And to build upon that, the lineup card looked very different when we saw it because Coach Messer's right-handed when he writes. Kind of can't write the lineup card now. So I don't know if Pete's right-hand dominant or not, but he threw that right hand up there, so it could have been dangerous. 2-2. Low, and the ball just skips away from Haig. In front of him, though, but regardless, Rosencrantz takes second. So Rosencrantz advances to scoring position now, and it's a full count coming from Holden Jackson to Donovan Balsley.
And this is the second payoff pitch here for Holden Jackson, and the last one he walked Rosencrantz, tied Rosencrantz in that last inning, in that 6th inning that he pitched. So it's going to be tough. You got to battle back here.
3-2 swung on, I missed. Strike 3. Big punch out at the plate for Holden Jackson, number 1 in relief. 1 up, 1 down for Spearfish with a man in scoring position, and that brings up Devin Fox.
Nice job there, going to that 2-seam fastball, had some movement on it, and Donovan Balsley, just could not track that pitch and was not able to locate it enough to even foul it off. A nice pitch there by Holden Jackson.
First pitch to Devin Fox, rides up high for ball 1. Devin Fox again 0 for 1 with a walk, a run scored, a sacrifice bunt, and a strikeout. Devin Fox was the first of our 4 Spearfish runs in this game. They trail 9-4 to the Hardhats. Colby Faroki's on deck, barring any pinch hitters. Next pitch, catches the outside corner for strike 1. Great movement by Jackson, evens things in a ball and a strike.
Yeah, and that's 6 strikeouts for the post-22 pitchers compared to only 1 for the Spearfish pitchers, and that came against Petrie in the bottom of the 3rd when Drew Gusso was on the mound. So doing a nice job are these pitchers.
Next pitch, strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes to count here to Devin Fox.
And that slider just went right into the dirt. Got a check swing there by Fox, and he knew it that he went around and couldn't even pull his bat back. So that was a heck of a pitch once again there from Holden Jackson.
1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Holden Jackson. 2 down now for Spearfish, still with that man in scoring position in Rosencrantz, and that is going to bring up Colby Faroki.
That was a huge second out of the inning. You have a runner in scoring position with no outs at that point, and then he strikes out the next 2 batters. Holden Jackson looking like a veteran pitcher here, and this is only his first season with the Hardhats. He's really showing his stuff and really showing that he can be reliable in relief.
Faroki comes in 0 for 2, and he swings and misses. He was looking for the fence on that pitch. No balls and a strike to count. As I mentioned, 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, grounded into an F8-4 double play, and then flew out to right. Jackson back to it. Checks the man on second, Rosencrantz. 0-1, there's that nasty breaking ball, caught the outside corner. Curveball gives him an 0-2 count.
Just that big bender, and if you can locate it on that outside part of the plate and low, that can be a very effective pitch. 0-2 count. Look for him to go right back at it because that froze Faroki. He didn't know what to do.
0-2, swung on and weakly hit to Jackson. Underhand toss to Vickers at first is in time, and that will end it. No runs. No hits, 1 error defensively for the Hardhats, and a man left on the base path yet again in scoring position for Spearfish. And at the end of 6.5, everybody get up and stretch, because I know Teddy and I are going to need that one too. Everybody get up and stretch. We'll be right back with the bottom half of the 7th. Justin Kramer, Zach Solano, and Camp Fees due up for the Hardhats. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
When we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is broadcast in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box and is brought to you by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, Courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. Mark Minetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth for all the action here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, 1340 AM, 105.7 FM, the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, and live on the internet at post22live.com. Drew Gussel still out on the mound here for Spearfish, and he will face 9-1-2 in the batting order for the Hardhats, leading off with Justin Kramer, Zach Solano following, and then Cam Fees will jump in that mix as well. Justin Kramer is 2 for 3 with 2 singles, one of which was a bunt single, and he came around to score. Probably the prettiest bunt single we've seen all year long, if I do say so myself, on all seriousness.
Well, him and Drake are definitely close. They both can lay down the bunt just about as good as anyone out there, and then they can aim their bunts. That's what makes them so effective. If they see the third baseman playing really far back, they can put it down that line. If they need a sac bunt, they can push it to the first base side, and that's why they're so effective with their speed to get on with those bunt singles.
First pitch from Gusso to Kramer is up high for ball 1. 1-0 is the count. Gusso's gone a long way now. He took over for Donovan Balsley, who went 2 1/3. Gusso has pitched since. Here's the 1-0 to Kramer. Swung on and hit right back to Gusso. Bobbles it, gets the stop though. Easy toss to first in time. Kramer now 2 for 4 on the game. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring us back to Zach Solano, who is 2 for 4 with an infield single most recently, an RBI double prior, and then an F9 and 6-4 fielder's choice putout.
Yeah, and Drew Gusso, we talked about how he's been going a while, but he's only thrown 46 pitches. And with 2 2/3 innings left, I think we're going to probably see him for the rest of the game, or at least through the 8th inning until they can get to their closer, because he's been pretty efficient and effective against this Hardhat lineup.
Gusso went in with a breaking ball that went low and inside on Solano, so 1-0 is his starting count. Here comes the 1-0 from Gusso to Solano. That goes outside. Now we have both extremes on either side of the plate, inside and outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, that's one of the ways that makes him so effective is he can hit those spots inside and outside, and that's why these hitters have been having trouble. He changes speeds, changes locations, and now we're kind of going back the second time through. Look for them to figure him out.
2-0 is swung on and hit foul, first base side, and that goes out of play and into Rapid Creek. That's going to bring the count to 2 balls and a strike now for Solano. 2 for 4 in this game, RBI double and an infield single last time he was up. Here comes the 2-1. That is low and inside for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike now the count to Solano with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Hardhats have a 9-4 lead.
And Solano looking to get on base with 1 out here. You don't want to get 2 quick outs. You want to gain the momentum back in your favor. It's been a stalemate ever since that bottom of the 3rd inning.
They're going to call strike 2 there on Solano, so the count now goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Solano, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. He has Cam Feast patiently waiting on deck. And here comes the payoff to Solano. Swung on and hit in the air to center field. Underneath it is Jackson Rosencrantz, and he makes the catch. So from one center fielder to another, that is how the out goes. F8 in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats. Here comes Cam Feast for his first at-bat of the game.
And Cam Feast coming into this game, batting .310 on the season. He's 3rd on the team in RBI, well, 4th on the team now. That big grand slam there by Cooper Bowman gave him 11 RBI. So he's 4th on the team now in RBI. So Cam Feast having himself a good season as well, looking to continue that and get his first hit in his first plate appearance this ball game.
First pitch to Feast is in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count. And as Teddy mentioned, Fees comes in with a .310 batting average. 0-1. Swung on and hit in the air to right. And the ball just goes foul. Ty Rosencrantz went into his 6th gear, couldn't make the catch. Fees now down, no balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was a long fly ball out there to right field and just barely goes foul. So a new life here for Cam Fees. He kind of got underneath that pitch there, and he was looking, if he can straighten that out a little bit, get it in that corner with the speed he has, you could see him turning a double into a triple if he can go opposite field like that. And we've seen him go opposite field. He's another one of these hitters that's really good at taking that pitch and rolling over with it, that outside pitch, rolling with it to go to right field.
0-2 skips in the grass before it even gets to home plate. So a ball and 2 strikes now the count from Gusso to Fees. Should Cam Fees safely get on the base path, Matt Vickers is waiting on deck. Here comes the 1-2 to Fees. Swung on and hit foul. That's going first base side again, and I believe out of the stadium. Count will remain a ball and 2 strikes.
Really good swing there to foul off that borderline pitch. If you don't have 2 strikes on you, you're going to take that pitch. You're not able to hit that low outside pitch very hard or very for a base hit often. So a nice job fouling that one off to see another pitch here.
1-2, breaking ball just missed up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Gusso trying to go back to the curve, didn't break down.
Yeah, that curveball is still just dancing. It's rolling off the table there. He has a good 12-6 motion on it. It's not fast. It's a real slow, big bending curveball, but it's hard to locate in the zone.
Next pitch, low and away, and that will push the count full to 3 balls and 2 strikes for Cam Fees. And again, should he safely get on the base path, Matt Vickers is up. 2 for 3 with 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and a walk. Here comes the payoff from Gusso. High and inside, caught him looking, strike 3. That was awfully close. Looked like it was going to buzz the tower, but it's a backwards K in the scorebook, and that will end the bottom half of the 7th. Unfortunately, it's 1-2-3 for the Hardhats, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 7 full innings, the Hardhats still have a 9-4 lead on Spearfish. Look to keep it that way as they once again take their defensive positions in the top of the 8th. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want to
We have a pitching change for the Hardhats. The relief appearance of Holden Jackson has come to a conclusion. Teddy's diligently working on getting a stat line for him. Now Will Moore comes into this. With 6 1/3 innings pitched, this will be the 5th game that he plays, 4th time in relief. He has 8 strikeouts to 3 walks and just over a 2 ERA. So Will Moore, a young lefty, with some stellar numbers here in his first year as a Hardhat.
And Holden Jackson went 2 innings pitched, allowed 1 hit, no runs, walked 1 batter, and struck out 2 on 29 pitches in those 2 innings. And you got to think Will Moore's going to get the 8th and the 9th here for the Hardhats. That kind of confused me. I forgot Carter Deming was in there at second, and that number really messed with me. Kind of lost my train of thought, but Will Moore definitely going to go the rest of the way here for the Hardhats unless, Coach Messer has something up his sleeve to try another young pitcher, but I believe we'll be seeing him for these next 2 innings, and it'll be a nice pitcher-on-pitcher matchup here in this first batter.
And another confusing thing about that, too, Teddy, is that Will Moore went back to his native number 11. Yeah. And he was number 16 over the weekend because of a couple of lineup swaps and whatnot with the graduation weekend and all. So now he is back to number 11. First pitch from Will Moore. What movement on that 2-seam fastball. Gets strike 1 to Drew Gusso. No balls and a strike to count. Wow, that ball just sailed.
Yeah, and as a left-handed pitcher, he can live on that outside part and really freeze up these right-handed hitters.
0-1 is swung on and hit in the air to left. Cam Fees charging from left field. Can he make the catch? No, he can't. The ball drops. Fees gets it into the infield, though, and Gusso will hang on with a hit. Very tough play for Fees to make, but again, that showcases his speed and his range defensively. Almost came up with what would have been a web jam for sure.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if any other left fielder out there could have even made an attempt at that play, but it was a good hit there by Gusso, a blooper out there to left, and Cam Fees got a really good jump on the ball just out, about an inch away from his glove, so tough to see, but now you need to get this ground ball out to try and clear these bases without allowing that lead runner to get moving.
0-1 rides high and away on Ty Rosencrantz for ball one. Rosencrantz 1 for 1. He's made the base path every time. He had a 2-run RBI single and 2 walks. Both times been stranded at second. 1-0 is fouled, and quickly his count evens at a ball and a strike. Ty Rosencrantz has Drew Gusso standing on first with nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Spearfish down 9-4. Not a single run between both clubs has been scored since the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It's been straight zeros across. Will Moore in relief. Next pitch, swung on and hit into right. Just foul. Awfully close, and Will Moore gets another chance to try and put Rosencrantz away, and he does so with a 1-2 count.
Yeah, that was tough. That could have been a real devastating pitch there, or a devastating hit from Ty Rosencrantz, but on the positive note, he was really late on that fastball there from Will Moore, so if he can get a little extra oomph on it or even come back with something off speed here, if Rosencrantz is looking for that fastball, he could really freeze him up and try to get him here at the plate for that first out of the inning.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count from Moore to Ty Rosencrantz, and he deals. Swung out and missed. Strike 3. K number 1 for Will Moore in relief. There's one man on the base path with 1 out. Double play ball in effect to end the inning now, and that brings up Alec Whitted, the first baseman.
Yeah, that would Will Moore coming with that big curveball, and as a left-handed pitcher against a right-handed hitter, that curveball's breaking to the hitter, and that makes it so difficult for these right-handed hitters. And we talked about how Rosencrantz a little late on that fastball, so that was a nice job there by Will Moore to come back and keep him guessing with that off-speed pitch for the strikeout.
Moore comes in with a 2-seam fastball for strike 1. 0-1 the starting count to Alec Whitted, who is 0 for 3 with a backwards K, a forwards K, and a 3-4 fielder's choice. Moore checks down to first, and Gusso didn't even move off the bag, so he is safe. Will Moore, a tall, young left-hander. That's the key part to him is young, and if he keeps developing like this, Teddy, he can be dynamite for this club.
Absolutely. This entire pitching staff, I'm so impressed with these young guys.
0-1 is swung on and hit through the hole between third and short for a base hit in the left. Fees throws into Bowman. Everybody advances 90 feet, so it's a single for Whitted. His first hit of the ball game. He is now 1 for 4. Men on first and second. Double play ball still in effect to end the inning, and that brings up Parker Laux, the second baseman.
Yeah, and Moore got the ground ball that he wanted. However, it just snuck between the glove of Kramer and Bowman there. Tough play to get that. And that's always hard because you think Bowman could have probably got that if he was playing normal, but he was in that double play depth close to the bag, and now you just got to get that ground ball once again.
First pitch from Moore to Parker Laux is in there for strike 1. 0-1 the starting count here to Laux, who on this game is 1 for 4. Backwards K single, forwards K 5-3 put out in that order. Top first, top second, top 4, and top 6 respectively. 0-1 hits him, and that's going to load the bases for Will Moore in this relief appearance and bring up Matt Burdett, the shortstop, who is 1 for 4 with a 2-run RBI single, which came with the bases loaded back in the top of the second.
Well, now you absolutely need that ground ball out. You still have that 5-run lead, so you'll take the sure out for the run in this situation. But if you can get that ground ball and roll it up, these corners might even, if you get a ground ball to Vickers at first or Kramer at third, they might come home, try and save that run to keep that 5-run lead.
First pitch from Moore to Burdett is up high for ball 1. 1-0 is the count. Burdett comes in, F9, 2-run RBI single, 6-3 F8. In that order. Bases loaded, 1 out, top of the 8th. 1-0 from Moore, swung on and hit in the air to center field. Zach Solano has to go back a ways underneath it, and he makes the catch on the run. 1 run will score, and another runner will advance to third. So it's an RBI sac fly by Matt Burdett, and Spearfish has scored this game's first run since the bottom half of the third. 9-5 is still the Hardhats' lead.
You still have the lead, and it's got the second out of the ball game. Gusso able to come in and score, and advance was Whitted from second to third. But now 2 outs, you can just worry about the batter and Jackson Rosencrantz right now. And a nice job there by Will Moore to get that second out. And like I said, with that 5-run lead, now 4, you would trade out for a run right there because they're now down to their final 4 outs of this ball game.
So Jackson Rosencrantz now comes up. He's 1 for 4, 5-3, F9, single stranded at second, reached on an error, stranded on second. First pitch to him with men on the corners, a swung on and hit right on the top of our broadcast, but actually no, just by it. Just went over our broadcast booth. No balls and a strike to count here to Rosencrantz. Rosencrantz has 2 outs here for Spearfish in the top of the 8th with men on the corners. Spearfish has just plated 1 run. They are now down 9-5. So they've cut their deficit from 5-4. Here is the 0-1. 2-seamers in there for a strike. And now no balls and 2 strikes to count. I love this 2-seamer from Will Moore. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's got that motion from starting at the middle of the plate, breaking to that outside part, and he comes with 2 straight fastballs. The sequence of pitches are good. He's probably going to come with something off speed here, try and freeze Rosencrantz.
0-2 is a curveball that swung on and hit foul, and that goes out of play third base side into the first section of seats. Count remains 0-2, and I'm just going to go out on here on a limb too. I love his curveball. I think I love everything about this pitching performance from him right now.
Yeah, he's definitely doing a nice job. Other than that hit batter to load the base up, he's been absolutely dynamite here in his relief appearance.
0-2. Swung on and hit in the air. Foul territory, third base side. Justin Kramer is charging for it, and it goes out into the second row. Out of play, third base side. 0-2 still remains the count from Moore to Jackson Rosencrantz.
Yeah, and Rosencrantz is so far ahead of these pitches that if you come with something off speed, you can really, really make him out in front. That curveball that we saw 2 pitches ago, he was already swinging from the toes of his feet, reaching over and rolling over his hands. So if you come with something, look for him to go.
0-2 is swung on and hit to short. Bowman gets the easy scoop and tossed to Deming at second, and it's a 6-4 fielder's choice. That will end the inning. Well, Spearfish has plated 1 on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on the base path for the Hardhats defensively. At the end of 7.5, the Hardhats still have the lead. However, now it is 9-5. Spearfish plating that 1 run here in the top of the 8th. To the bottom half of the 8th we go. Matt Vickers, Eric Petrie, and Sam Haig. Haig will bat for the first time in this game, rounding out the gentlemen due up here in the bottom of the 8th. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
That can do it all. You can train in, you can race in. It looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America. So he's come around full circle, if you will. He started off at second, then pitched, then went back to second. Parker Laux will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Hardhats batting order, starting off with Matt Vickers at 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. Eric Petrie, who is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored, and Sam Haig, who has yet to bat in place of Timmy Paris. Teddy's diligently crunching numbers here on Drew Gusso's stat line.
Drew Gusso on the day went 4 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, all on 59 pitches.
Good efficiency for him there, almost 60 pitches, and he almost went 5 full innings. That's a pretty efficient rate.
Yeah, and he found success. I'm pretty sure he's their number one for the Spartans, and we saw him last time, kind of touched on it when he was coming into the game, how he found success against his hard hat lineup, and he did it once again today. So he's been hard to hit for these guys.
First pitch to Matt Vickers, rides high and away for a ball 1. Matt Vickers doubled in the first and third innings. Came around to score both times, walked in the third, came up to the plate twice. Next pitch is in there for strike 1. So 1-1 now the count to Vickers. And then he grounded into a 3-1 ground out. Here comes the 1-1 from Laux. That's low. 2 balls and a strike now to Vickers.
And Vickers, you talk about him coming around and scoring. He now came around to score 17 times this season, so he's only 1 behind Solano in the team lead.
Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to right field. Ball has some distance. It is high. It is far. It is gone. It is a leadoff solo home run for Matt Vickers here in the bottom of the 8th, and the Hardhats now have a 10-5 lead over Spearfish.
That was huge there for Matt Vickers, picking up his second home run on the season, and he's seeing the ball well. We talked about every time he comes up, when he can turn on that pitch, that makes him, that's when he's at his best, and that was to left center field. That was to a deep part of the ballpark, and he absolutely crushed it out of here. There was no doubts about that. As soon as that left his bat, it was gone.
First pitch to Petrie is a swing and a miss. No balls and a strike the count to Eric Petrie. So Matt Vickers gets dinger number 2 on the season. Both of them to that exact same part of the Fitz. Next pitch is fouled by Petrie, and now he is quickly behind 0-2. Petrie reached on an error, walked and came around to score, struck out, and was involved in a 6-3 ground out. Sam Haig patiently waits on deck. 0-2 from Laux to Petrie is low, and they caught him looking strike 3 on the outside corner. So Petrie strikes out for the second time in this game. 1 down now for the Hardhats, and that brings up Sam Haig.
Yeah, and Sam Haig seeing his first plate appearance in this ball game. He comes in batting .385, and he was the first Hardhat to hit a home run this season with that big in-the-park home run. So he definitely can show some power out there in the outfield.
Power and speed. That was in Billings. What a heck of a home run that was. Looks at strike 1. His 0-1 is low, and that quickly evens things for him at a ball and a strike. Hagen, his first plate appearance of the game, took over for Timmy Paris, who went 2 for 3 with a sac fly RBI, 2 singles, a run scored. 1-1. That's in there for strike 2. Laux goes to the fastball. 1-2 now the count here to Haig, with Alex Weaver patiently waiting in the on-deck circle. Laux slows down now in his approach. Here's the 1-2 to Haig. Caught him looking, strike 3, and that is back-to-back backwards Ks for the Hardhats in the scorebook here. 2 down now, and that brings up Alex Weaver, who is 1 for 2 on the game with a walk, a hit by pitch, a run scored, and a single.
Well, I don't know if the umpire is ready for this game to be finished just quite yet, or if Laux is just having so much movement on his pitches. I can't quite see it from up here, but just kind of freezing these hitters in Petrie and Haig right there. Sam Haig doesn't get cheated in the batter's box. That's only the second time he's struck out this season. So, got to give credit to Laux if his pitches are just dancing in the zone there.
First pitch now to Weaver is in there for strike.
They must be dancing. Faroki can't even hold on to him there behind the plate. So, I'm really trying to see how much movement's going on down there.
No balls and a strike to count. Laux right back to it. 0-1. That's low and away. Fastball. Ball and a strike now the count. Should Alex Weaver safely get on the base path, Cooper Bowman is on deck. And if this lead doesn't change at all in Hardhat's favor, then that'll probably be the last chance he gets at the plate. 2 balls and the strike now the count as Weaver looks at ball 2 low. Cooper Bowman, heck of a day for him. Went 1 for 3 with a grand slam. On deck he is. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and hit to second. Stops made on the play by Gusso. Throw to first is in time, and that's going to end it. So the Hardhats get 1 run on a hit, and that's a home run, a solo jack for Matt Vickers to right. No errors, nobody left on the base path. That may be the last time we see the Hardhats to the plate. And at the end of 8 full innings, the Hardhats now have a 10-5 lead over Spearfish, 3 defensive outs away from taking another win on home field. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
3 defensive outs separate the Hardhats from now and the conclusion of what would be their 8th win in 9 games at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. It would also be win number 13 in 16 games overall. A heck of a start for this Hardhats club. And once again, we thank you so much for joining us inside the Anytime Auto Sales press box at the Fitz. Mark Minetti, voice of the Post 22 Hardhats. Teddy Leipold, former American Legion third baseman, formerly of Post 32 out in Bellefouche, alongside you for all the festivities this entire season. And we don't have any specifics on how the game went, particularly as far as score is concerned, but for all those hockey fans out there, the San Jose Sharks just defeated the St. Louis Blues. They make their first ever trip to the Stanley Cup Final. First pitch to Donovan Balsley is hit foul out of play at first base side. 0-1 his starting count from Will Moore.
That's always good to see. Both of us hockey fans, so I like that little. Ooh, that was close.
0-1 is hit hard into the Hardhats dugout. I think it just caught the meshing, but still, that came in a little bit. Hopefully everybody's all right there. But Balsley's now down, no balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I don't see the trainers rushing to try and help anybody, so I think it caught the meshing and we'll be all right.
0-2. Almost hit him. It did not. Getting out of the way of that was Balsley. Might get some ribbon for that one. In a scenario like this, you're down 5, top of the 9th, your last 3 outs. You got to wear one, get base runners.
You got to wear one no matter what. That dugout's probably yelling at him. The big thing is if you jump out of the way, everyone's screaming at you.
1-2 is swung on and hit to third. Kramer can't make the stop. It goes into left field for a base hit. So Balsley gets a leadoff single. Man on the base path for Spearfish, and that's going to bring up Devin Fox, the left fielder, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and back-to-back at-bats, a sacrifice bunt, and a walk with a run scored.
Well, since you got to do a score plug, I get to do a score plug as well. The Cavaliers take Game 5 over the Raptors, 116-78. They were out for blood in this one, and they now lead the series 3-2. That could be an interesting finals if it's Oklahoma City and the Cavaliers. That would be close. The NBA finals or the NBA playoffs are definitely getting fun.
1-2 swung on and missed, strike 3.
They forgot to clear the count from the previous at bat in Balsley. So I'm pretty sure that's just 0-1 right now here for Devin Fox.
Next pitch is low and away, and that's going to make it 1-1. My apologies there. I kind of jumped a bit. There's the change.
Well, hopefully.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Moore looks at his man on first. Next pitch is swung on and ripped over the head of Kramer and into left for a base hit. Into field is Cam Fees. He throws it to his cutoff man in Bowman. Back-to-back singles here for Spearfish. That puts men on first and second, and that is going to bring up Kobe Furoki, who is 0 for 3, grounded into a double play, flew out and was involved in a 1-3 putout. Also had a walk and a run scored.
And with the final 3 outs still yet to be put up on the board, you'll trade runs for outs at this point. So if you can get something up the middle, you're going to roll it 2 and then 1, and you'll let that runner go to third just because you have that 5-run lead and you want to get this game over with.
First pitch was a breaking ball. It didn't break down, so ball 1 thrown from Moore to Furoki. Moore already has a strikeout in relief. Here's his 1-0. That rides up high, 2 balls, no strikes. Moore took over for Jackson, who took over for Susie. Dr. Seuss, as we affectionately call him off the field, started off the game for the Hardhats. 2 balls, no strikes to count from Will Moore to Kobe Faroki. And here comes the 2-0. Breaking ball outside. 3 balls, no strikes to count.
It's tough. You don't wanna allow Faroki to get on for free, especially with that walk, because that will load up the bases here with no outs for Spearfish. So you got to try to battle back everything you can.
3-0 is in there for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike now the count. Men on first and second. Moore checks them both. 3-1. Misses for ball 4. And that loads up the bases. That's Moore's first walk in relief. No one out here in the top of the 9th. And now Jason Hers, the pitching coach for the Hardhats, is going to come out and have a quick word with Will Moore.
Yeah, just they're not going to make any kind of switch here. Just going to come out and talk to Will Moore and talk to the infield as well, the situationals. You're up by 5 runs there. I don't know if he's going to have him come home, try and save that run or get that double play. He's just, talking strategy right now and making sure that Will Moore's arm is still all right and he's not running out of gas yet.
What's the pitch count up at Moore right now?
Moore's only thrown 27 pitches,
oh, wow.
So, he should still be fine, but, sometimes your arm tires a little faster. Sometimes, you might tweak it on one pitch, so, just coming out to kind of settle things down. This is a pretty high-pressure situation. You have the lead, but also bases loaded for the Hardhats.
So now here comes Drew Gusso with a chance to cut into this 5-run deficit his team faces. First pitch from Will Moore is up high for ball 1. Gusso has the bases loaded. He has Donovan Balsley on the base path. He's on third with a single. Devin Fox on second with a single. And Kobe Faroki, he is on first with a walk. Next pitch is fouled off to Gusso. And now he has the bases loaded, a 1-1 count, and no one out here in the top of the 9th. Hardhats with a 10-5 lead.
Yeah, and Gusso, this is a hitter you want at the plate in this situation. He has 2 back-to-back singles for his club.
Next pitch is outside. 2 balls and a strike now the count. And you're exactly right, Teddy. His back-to-back singles, he's 2 for 3 on the game. Walked in the first inning, second inning, came around to score. Here comes the 2-1 from Moore. Swung on and fouled. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Moore's battled back, and I've noticed this as the entire game's gone on. Every at-bat, which is now 5 for Gusso, he has fouled off. I can't tell you how many pitches.
Yeah, that just shows how good of a hitter that he is, and he battles up there with every pitcher he sees, whether it be Susie, Jackson, or now Moore.
2-2 is swung on and popped up into left. Cam Fees is underneath it, and he makes the catch. Runner goes. Fees gets the ball in, but the runner immediately retreats to third. Great defensive play by Cam Fees. It was a shallow enough ball, so the question still had to be asked whether or not Balsley had moved from third, but his relay got in quick enough. Bases remain loaded. 1 out now in the top of the 9th. And that's going to bring up Ty Rosencrans, and a double play can end this game.
Absolutely. That was a good play there by Cam Fees. The only thing you'd like to see, especially in this situation, is kind of charging that ball so we can get right into his pro hop after he catches it and get a good throw into home. But still, you've prevented that run from coming home. You made the play. You got that first out. And like you said, a ground ball here, double play, could end this game with the Hardhats taking the victory.
10-5 is the Hardhats lead. There are still bases loaded here for Spearfish. 1 out now on the top of the 9th. That's going to bring up Ty Rosencrans, who is 1 for 2 with a 2-run RBI single and a strikeout, along with 2 walks. Will Moore, the lefty, deals ball 1 to the right-handed hitting Rosencrans. Should a double play not end this game, Alec Whitted, the first baseman's on deck. 1 for 4 with a single and 2 strikeouts. Moore right back to it. 1-0 to Ty Rosencrans. Swung on and chopped right back to him. It is a 1-2 fielder's choice. Thought we were going to get the ever so rare 1-2-3 double play in both cliche and in fielding assignments interacting on the play. That's not the case. The out is at home. Bases are still loaded. 2 outs, and Alec Whitted could be the final batter of this game.
Yeah, that was a good play there by Will Moore. Every time I say, as soon as you let go of that pitch, you become another infielder if you're the pitcher. So a nice job, smart, preventing the run, because he doesn't want to see his ERA go up. So he wanted to come home, but it was a nice job to get that second out. Now you can go to the easiest bag.
Ball one dealt to Alec Whitten. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Backwards K, forwards K, 3-4 fielder's choice, single stranded on third in that order of his entries. Here is the 1-0. That's low. Haig makes a big stop. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Bases are still loaded here for Moore. Now on third is Devin Fox. On second, he's got Kobe Ferocki. And on first, with that grounded fielder's choice, Ty Rosencrantz. Here comes a 2-0 from Moore. Swung on and hit to third. Kramer gets the stop. He's going to tag his bag, and that is going to do it. The Hardhats come out with a 10-5 win over Spearfish. They are now 2-0 against Spearfish on the season, and advanced to 13-3 and 8-1 at home. Incredible ball game once again for the Hardhats.
Yeah, it was a good ball game. You'd like to see, maybe a little bigger separation between these teams because, the Hardhats, very good team. But Spearfish came to play today. They were not intimidated by the Hardhats after that first game that they saw them. So you got to give Spearfish credit as well. Turned it into a pretty decent ball game there early on. But the Hardhats and that huge offensive lineup just overpowered as the game went on.
Final stat line across the board for you. For Spearfish, it was 5 runs on 10 hits and 1 error defensively. For the Hardhats, it was 10 runs on 12 hits, also 1 error defensively in the field. Teddy and I are going to take a quick break here, folks. After 8.5 innings of regulation, we'll tabulate some statistics, gather some thoughts. We'll give you Teddy's MVP, my stat of the day, and then we'll sign off and say so long until we have the longest road trip of the year when the Hardhats take on Post 320 at Pete Lean Field. Hopefully all of you caught the sarcasm I was laying down pretty thick in that statement. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is brought to you in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box by Sound Pro, the Physical Therapy Center, courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. Statistically across the board, it's the Hardhats with a 10-5 win. Spearfish 5 runs on 10 hits, 1 error in the field. The Hardhats 10 runs on 12 hits and 1 error in the field as well. We thank you, as always, for tuning into all the action these Hardhats provide us every single night we are in the booth. Mark Minetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth for all of our festivities this entire season long. 9 innings, well, really 8.5 played by the Hardhats here on Little League night nonetheless, and some of the Little Leaguers that are still here I think are going to come out and say hi to some of the Hardhats as they are still on the field. But Teddy, once again, another big win. More importantly, the defensive home field. Now you go to 8-1 and 13-3 on the season. There's not much else you can say outside of the normal things that we've been saying all season long to this point about this club.
Yeah, it was another good game for the Hardhats. They started off started off with those 2 runs in the first inning, and then you go to the bottom of the third, and that's when everything really poured on. And it's been offensive-minded this entire season, and every game we see that where you just there's so many hits for the Hardhats, 12 hits in tonight's ball game, and we talked about it in the last game on Sunday, where key to their victory of mine was to get those 10 hits. Well, they got 9, and now they get 12, and you just keep seeing them pouring it on. This offense is absolutely amazing. It makes up if they have 1 error in the field, or they have a little base running error at that point. That this offense is so potent that it could make up, and there's so many guys in this lineup that could do it with one swing of the bat that that's a luxury that a lot of teams don't have. And then it goes back to the pitching. I mean, Susie kind of had some control issues, but was still effective and mowed down these Spearfish hitters. And then Holden Jackson and Will Moore come in and tighten things up to close it out. So the 2 things that could win you just about any game is hitting and pitching. And the Hardhats are blessed to be very, very good and very, very proficient in both of those categories.
You look at the stat line of Brandon Susie in his start. He gets the win and improves to 2-1 on the season. Brandon Susie went 5 innings pitched, allowed 5 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 4 but struck out 5. Also had a hit battery, did it all on 91 pitches. You look to the early struggles you're talking about in the game here, Teddy. Hardhats take a 2-0 lead. Top of the second, give Spearfish credit. They played 4 runs in a row on 2 2-run RBI singles. What went wrong in that 1 inning for the Hardhats?
Those 3 straight walks. That's the only thing that went wrong in this game. Was that top of the second and those 3 straight walks. You can handle the run that was plated in the top of the 8th from Spearfish, but those 3 straight walks. I mean, you look at Susie's stat line. This would be one of the best starts we've seen this season if you take out those 3 walks, because all 3 of those walks came around to score, and they were back to back to back. So but Susie did a heck of a job to settle down, come back in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and not allow another run to get across. So you got to give him credit. But those 3 walks, those hurt, and we talk about it all the time, where these walks will really start to kill you, especially against some really good teams. I don't want to take anything away from Spearfish here, but when we go down to Omaha, when we go over to Minnesota for the Gopher Classic, you're going to see some teams that if you allow those 4 or 5 walks a game, they're going to really make you pay, and it's going to be hard to win, even with such an explosive offense that the Hardhats have. It's going to be hard to win, so that's one thing that still needs to be tightened up. A lot of walks here early in the season for these pitchers, but also a lot of punch-outs and just real efficient from everyone. So it's going to be fun to see how it evolves over the course of this season, but to bounce back from that 4 runs in the top of the second was huge.
8 total strikeouts by Hardhats pitchers today, 5 from Brandon Susie, 2 from Holden Jackson in first relief, 1 from Will Moore to close out the rest of the game. And then we go back to the big inning you talk about. 7 runs there in the bottom of the 3rd, and as I had mentioned, coming back on the air to the top of the 4th, order had been restored at the Fitz. The Hardhats almost rarely trail at this field. We've seen it only twice this year, or really 3-4 times, but it hasn't made much of a factor in 3 of those games. And they come back in the bottom of the 3rd, 7 runs plated, and really the linchpin to this game right now was that grand slam by Cooper Bowman, and what a shot that was to left.
Yeah, that was a huge shot, and it cleared all in the fits here. We have the sponsors on the fence, and then also another row of sponsors above the fence that go another probably 7 feet of billboard, and he cleared all of that. So it was an absolute blast out to the left field, and to do it with the bases loaded to get that's a good way to get your first home run of the season. I believe that's his first in a hard hat uniform as well. We can't say for sure because we didn't see him early on last season, but I'm almost positive. I'd venture to guess that that's probably his first in a hard hat uniform, and that's one way to get it. And he drove in 4 of those runs in that 7th inning, so it was definitely a big inning, and this hard hat offense relies so hard on that big inning that Cooper Bowman really provided that spark, and everyone else fed off him for the rest of the game.
Final stat line once again across the board. Spearfish 5 runs on 10 hits, 1 blemish defensively. The Hardhats 10 runs on 12 hits, also 1 blemish in the field. Teddy, this is another tough one, and this is a good problem to have. It's a tough problem for you to figure out your MVP. Who gets it today, though?
Well, it was going to be tough. That definitely was. We talked about that grand slam with Cooper Bowman, but I got to give it to Matt Vickers, and he sealed it with that solo shot in the bottom of the 8th inning. Matt Vickers went 3 for 4, reached base 4 out of the 5 times. He had 2 doubles, 3 runs scored, and of course, that solo shot, he reached on a walk there in the bottom of the 3rd. So Matt Vickers, he kind of did it all. He was very good there at first base like he always is, and he's just continuing to swing the bat well because this kid's going to be hard to get out, and he's really going to see his stats inflate if he that well because
extra base hits. I mean, that's you made the comment when Zach Solano had his big home run game that he's playing in a video game. That almost ventures to make the same case, no?
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. 13 of his 23 hits have been extra base hits, either double, he has 1 triple, and now 2 home runs. So it's crazy to think that, and these two normally, we saw Solano in the leadoff spot, but normally Solano and Vickers are batting back-to-back, and these two are just having a season for the ages. It's going to be real special to see what they can do from here on out, and also what their numbers are going to look like at the end of the season. It's really going to make some scouts open their eyes and really think like, wow, these kids, we knew they could play baseball, but they're going to be attracting attention from a lot of big-time programs and a lot of big-time people if they keep playing the way that they are.
My stat of the day, it doesn't seem as flashy, but it always goes off to a point that Teddy likes to make in these broadcasts, and specifically today you made this point a lot. The importance of eliminating the threat of the leadoff man if he gets on the base path. Well, the leadoff man in this game went 3 for 8 with a hit by pitch, a strikeout, and reached on an error. But for me, the big thing was the leadoff runners, or the leadoff batters, I should say, in each inning only scored once. Out of the 9 innings that Spearfish had to bat, the leadoff man, whether he made base or not, leadoff man only came around to score once. That was back in the top of the 8th when Drew Gusso came around to score after Matt Burdick got the sac fly RBI out there to center field. But it goes back to the point you made it a lot, especially today, when the lead man would get on base. Is okay, eliminate the threat, get the ground ball up the middle, do whatever you can. And a couple of times, that leadoff man was stranded on 3rd.
Yeah, that's huge right there. That's a good stat of the day. And it isn't flashy, but a lot of people that understand the game, they understand the importance of that leadoff runner. Anytime you're preaching offense, you want that leadoff runner on. Anytime you're preaching defense or pitching, you want that leadoff runner out. It just changes the complexity of the entire inning if that leadoff runner gets on or out. So to even when they were able to get on, to still limit the damage that they could do and to limit the fact that they would cross that plate was huge, and that's a big part of, or that's a big key point, and something you can look back on as a positive of this game for this Hard Hat Club.
One more time, final stat line across the board. Spearfish 5 runs on 10 hits, 1 error defensively. The Hard Hats 10 runs on 12 hits, 1 error defensively. Brandon Susi gets the win, improves to 2-1. And that will do it for, once again, an 8th win out of 9 tries on home field for the Post 22 Hardhats. They improved to 13-3 and defeat Spearfish by a 10-5 score in 8.5 regulation innings. Once again, Teddy, absolute blast having you in the broadcast booth. We will see you for the longest road trip of the year on Friday night as we venture across the parking lot to Pete Lean Field in the Rapid City rivalry. Post 320 taking on your Post 22 Hardhats. Should be one heck of a matchup, and I urge all of you in the community to come out and support local baseball. 2 rivals going head-to-head. That actually, side sentimental note before before we sign off. That will mark 1 year of you and I broadcasting Post 22 Hardhats baseball, because our very first game was on May 29th of 2015, and it just so happened to be at Pete Lean Field, 320 hosting 22.
Yeah, it's been what a year it's been. You know, we got to go all through last season and got that success there in last season, and now we're in our second season. So we got to be the veterans now. Maybe we got to stop cracking as many jokes. No, just kidding. That's a part of our broadcast, but it's been a lot of fun covering Post 22 baseball, and I'm looking forward to covering it for a while to come now. So it's, you know, we got quite a few games under our belt at this point, and I'm looking for a lot more here as this second season starting to progress on.
Very well and generously spoken. Once again, Teddy, thanks so much for everything you do for this broadcast. We will see you Friday night at 7 o'clock at Pete Lean Field. And all our special thanks to everybody at ESPN Radio for making this broadcast possible. Steve Jacobs, Chris Halgo, and, of course, Ian Rombo. We've got Ben sitting in between both Teddy and myself from the Sports Ticket, keeping Post22Live.com alive and kicking throughout the entire regulation game that we broadcast online on the web. That'll do it for all of us here from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, 1340 AM, 105.7 FM, and, as always, on the internet at Post22Live.com. Until Friday night at Pete Lean Field, when Post 22 travels to take Post 320 on a rivalry matchup, this is Mark Benetti, the voice of the Post 22 Hardhats, saying so long and good night.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
If you jump into a race and you haven't paid the entry fee,
If you just hop in and you don't have a bib number and you just run with it illegally,
it's called being a bandit.
The Charge Bandit is the first stability offering in our Run Long segment.
we have the armor vent and the 4-foot maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
This shoe provides a light stability platform for the runner.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product, it's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Cars, jobs, a whole new level of freedom. It's what being a teen is all about. But before they fly off, you want to be sure they have the know-how to succeed, which is why there's free green teen banking service, the safe way for teens to learn how to manage money while you monitor their account. Free debit card, mobile banking, and the best way for teens to begin their financial freedom. Free green teen banking, only from Security First Bank.
At Farm Bureau,
Baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go out. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go out. Welcome to my house. Come on, bring a friend. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my duck off the crib. you throwing